Pump up the beat now. Pump it up. You gotta feel it right now. There's no turning back, y'all. There's no turning back. Ride on the groove, y'all. Come on.
Thank you, Piano Key. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sue. Appreciate you, man.
The DJ's gonna rock your ass.
Pesto, shut the fuck up, dude. And Pesto, you fucking ditched yesterday. You ditched. What the fuck was up with that? Everybody shut the fuck up and stop complaining that I was late. I have a reason for everything. You ever thought of that? I got a reason for everything. Like, I've been working on a letter to CPUSA. Thank you, Captain Waffles. I'm writing a letter to them on the Substack. Open letter to CPUSA. Shut the fuck up, I know what I'm doing.
The DJ's gonna rock your ass.
Big forearms. Work. MF Villain, thank you so much. Yeah, we're gonna do a few things today. So I'm gonna let you know. I usually don't do this. Thank you. I usually don't do this because it's cringe. But I'm gonna just give you the schedule for today. So the schedule for today, it's not gonna be a schedule. I'm gonna tell you the things we're gonna cover today. We are going to watch the Lukashenko interview. It's not in order. We're gonna address the Jason Unruhe shit, and we're just gonna get, you know, back on track with some political whatever shit. Yesterday I hosted that thing on my stream. So I haven't really seen you guys in a long time. We gotta get back up to date. Remember our fucking goal, remember our plan. We are here to win the Communist Party of the United States of America. That is our goal. That's what I stream for now. That's the whole purpose for our existence right now. We want to win the Communist Party USA. That is our mission. That's what I stream for now. That's what I do anything now for.
You gotta pump it up. You gotta feel it right now. There's no turning back, y'all. There's no turning back. Ride on the groove, y'all. Come on.
Bring the noise, girls and boys. Scream, raise your voice, pump it up, party people. You like it rough? Hey, DJ, it's not loud enough. Murder on the dance floor, why gon' die soon? Pump up the volume like a riot. Mr. Violence, my mission, kill the silence.
Yeah, start a chapter. Start a chapter if one doesn't exist where you live. First order of business. First order of business that I want to get out of the way. This whole Jason Unruhe shit. It's not going to be long. Ready? I'm going to address the whole fucking thing. The whole drama. So let me find the video. Jason Unruhe. The video is called The Moppin' Haas Plot. The Maupin Haas plot. This is the plot, by the way. You want to know something interesting? I actually have intelligence. About who did this. Like, I was given evidence, DM'd evidence of where this actually came from. And that's actually why I wanted to cover it.
There's no turning back. Ride on the groove, y'all. Come on.
So this got a staggering 1.5k views. So I'm gonna directly address Jason on Ruhe first. You are a what? 45-year-old man or something now, right? If a random person tells you that Haas and Maupin are planning something, you need to actually ask for receipts and investigate what they're actually talking about, because you don't go on Twitter and on your fucking YouTube and irresponsibly just treat this as if it's fucking true. What if you're wrong, Jason? Would you feel like a fucking idiot if you were wrong? What if you're wrong about this, huh? Would that make you feel like a fucking idiot? Well, I'm here to tell you that you are wrong and that there's actually proof that you're wrong. The guy who did this is a troll who comes from the pedo website. So it's actually ironic they're talking about this, because the person who literally did this was literally typing in a thread on the pedo website saying that they were going to do this and laughing about it. You know the website I'm talking about. The left-wing pedophile website. It's like, and when I was confronted with that evidence, I was like, wow. Those people are still at it. You know, those people are still at it. It's really pathetic. Those people are still at it. Yeah. They're still at large, but apparently they're preying now on poor Jason on Ruhe. The guy's had a bad rap, you know, oh wow, this guy's been, I thought I was going through it, and wow, he's just been through a lot of shit, I guess. On Twitter. Right? He's been going through it. But to be clear, I don't know anything about Jason talking to minors or CP. I mean, you guys have to put yourself in my shoes, and from my perspective, I watched Jason on Ruhe like 10 years ago, right? And I was just on YouTube watching apparently the only American communist on the internet, from what I could tell. Thank you, Paper. And to think that 10 years later, like, I would be entangled with all this is just, it's very surreal to me, you know? I don't know. Just imagine you're a young kid, you're 13 years, who told you 10 years later you're going to be involved in all this, you know? I don't know, but as far as where things stand with Jason, I think Jason's a clown. I think he's a fucking clown. I think he's a joke. I think he's an embarrassment. And I don't know much about him though. I don't really know like what his groups or his Discord, or I don't know what world he lives in that has allowed him to sustain this fantasy for so long. And I don't really care, to be honest. I don't really care. Now, to be clear, the idea that myself or Caleb would have to plan on framing you would mean that we would have to, like, we find you a threat and we want to make your image look bad, right? But Jason, and all, you know, credit where credit's due. You've done a great job discrediting yourself all by yourself. I mean, I actually thought long and hard about whether I was going to talk about Fallout Gate on stream. The human part of me says, I don't want to do that. Come on, you know, he's getting bullied, whatever. But the just part of me says, no, I do need to bring this up. Because if you show weakness to your enemies, they're only gonna fucking take advantage of it. And this guy has had multiple chances of me being polite to him and human to him, and he fucking being a disgusting fucking lying sack of shit scumbag. So you know what? We are gonna fucking talk about Fallout Gate. Yes, we are talking about Fallout Gate today. Yes, we are. I can't show it, unfortunately. I swear to God, there's nothing I want to do more than show it on stream. Because it is literally the funniest thing I've seen in 2 years of my whole life. And I was laughing all last night when I saw it. Please let me remain composed. Stop KEKWing because I am going to laugh if you laugh about it. Remain composed. Remain calm, because I want to ease into this. Yeah, I want to ease into this. I don't want to be rushed into covering Fallout Gate. But just bear with me here, okay? Just bear with me. Jason, multiple times for the past few weeks, you have embarrassed yourself beyond... You shared the fucking Reddit graph about Christianity. And I know you've been going through it on Twitter, but what that means is that me and Caleb do not have to fabricate or frame you for talking to minors or having CP. We don't need to do that. You've done a great job discrediting yourself all by yourself. And yeah, I mean, we've never done anything like that is the thing, though. Or he's never done anything like that. What makes people think that that's the type of people we are to do something like that? I've never done that. I don't even know that people have the evil within them to do shit like that, you know? Like, you know, I'm a brutal guy, but I'm a fair and honest guy, too. I don't lie. I don't make shit up. For example, when I call the pedo website a pedo website, I call it a pedo website because CP was actually shared on that website. And yes, by definition, it was CP. And it is literally through links connected to pedophile, an actual like website for pedophiles. Pedophiles have posted on the website openly. So yes, that's why I call it a pedo website. I'm not lying when I say that, right? I don't lie and make shit up. If I say something, I have evidence and a reality behind it. I don't just fabricate shit, you know, beyond having any reality. Give me a moment. Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, you made a whole video saying there's let's watch the video. Why don't we just watch this video? I actually didn't watch it. This is the Maupin Haas plot, according to Jason Unruhe the Deranged. And I have names for people, and his name will be Jason Unruhe the Deranged, pending further change.
So, this is how insanely butthurt both the Maupin and Haas fans are, that not only did I, without actually trying, out Haas as a racist, and...
When did he do that again? I don't know what he's referring to here.
Maupin continues to bury himself by openly declaring his alliance with homophobes and pro-lifers.
Don't you work for Iranian state television? Jason, you work for Iranian state television. I hope you know Iran's official stance toward LGBT or homosexuality within Iran. You work for the Iranian government, don't you? Well, that's what you say you do. You actually said you wanted to convert to Shia Islam. Do you think that Shia Islam has positive views toward sexual minorities, officially speaking? Shia Islam is a very hierarchical religion that's based on, clerical authority.
And now anti-Semites. But now they're planning on not only...
What's the anti-Semites? What is he referring to there? Farrakhan or something? What is he referring to? Calling Trump a leftist and Antifa a white supremacist. Ah, okay.
accusing me of being a rapist.
One of the things that I do to combat the British Empire is fight the Anglo box. And the reason I say things that don't, like, they just sound like, oh, how can they? I say things provocatively because I want people to be comfortable with using words in unconventional and counterintuitive ways. I want people to be comfortable using words and using sentences and phrases that are not definitionally or technically correct, but can be correct in a deeper dialectical sense, right? So when people like jump in and say, "Oh my God, Haas said this really ridiculous sounding thing," you miss the point. It's like when Alexander Kojev said that Henry Ford was the greatest Marxist of the 20th century. And like, "Oh my God, did you hear that Kojev said Henry Ford was a Marxist?" Yeah, but the point was that it's supposed to be provocative, right? It's supposed to actually make you rethink what you think about Marxism and what you think about, it's like, you don't understand that that's the point, right? I want people to be comfortable with using words in a more free way so that they can lend themselves to correct sense and correct forms of practice. So I'm an American pragmatist, and these are Anglo-box, formulaic, dogmatists, and this is my form of warfare against the British Empire.
But now they're going to create fake evidence of being a pedo.
According to what? Where are you getting the source? You're getting a random DM from someone, and you are not asking it. You're not asking. You're not asking if this is like. What's the reality behind this accusation? Where is it coming from? Because you could literally see in the thread that I was screenshotted, unless they made that one up, of someone literally taking responsibility for this and saying they intend to do this. Like, the guy is literally on the website laughing right now.
So don't be surprised when you see this appear in the next few weeks or the next few days or so.
That's a little weird, because why? What would appear? What could possibly appear? Is there a reality to this? Maybe that's like actually a little bit concerning that you're saying that. Like, what would appear? I don't know what you have in mind, Jason. I don't really know you like that. I don't really particularly pay attention to you. I think maybe you're saying we're gonna fabricate. Well, like, if you're innocent, then you're innocent, right? Even if this was true, if you're innocent, you don't really have much to hide. Because I think if something like that happened, people would want to investigate the veracity of the claims and the source, right? Discord screenshots can be faked. And the barrier to actually something being verified is having a screen capture of the Discord software. And that's actually how you see if it's correct or not. It's not enough for someone to fake a screenshot to completely frame you or whatever, right? So I don't really know what you have in mind.
Because this is how much of a pile of degenerates those two actually are. And how much they actually fear.
Okay, I could maybe forgive. I can't forgive it, but I could see how you're like, oh yeah, Haas, right? Because I'm just some dipshit Twitch streamer. But the idea that Caleb is involved in this, Like the idea that Caleb is like working behind the scenes to frame you for this is actually comical. Like, you know, poor guy, man. Caleb just he's just dealing with all sorts of fucking
The correct line. Because they know
This is how much we fear the correct line.
they're wrong. They can't argue against me.
But I did argue against you. I argued against you for a long time. Live. It's on the YouTube.
So all they can do is slander, which is really ironic coming from Moppin, who sued or is threatening to sue the CPUSA because they disagreed with him.
Why would you post this? Like, who is the audience? Like, what? Who's even keeping up with this shit? Why would you ever post this? I'm gonna just say something. I'm gonna go ahead and say something, and I actually mean this with all my heart. Jason Unruhe is a kulak. He is a ML gatekeeping kulak, and the only reason anyone pays him any fucking attention is because 10 years ago, he was the first guy on YouTube to fucking have a hammer and sickle, right? So he's just been this gatekeeping kulak who thinks he's entitled to all this attention and all this respect because he was the OG, he was the original guy. Nah, bro, you're not the fucking godfather of tankies. He wants to be the fucking the godfather of tankies, and you're not, dude. We're living in 2021. You're not nobody's gatekeeper or fucking godfather or whatever. So shut the fuck up, dude, and stop trying to speak with all this authority. You know, I used to try and respect you and have respect for you because you were an OG, but you abused that title and that position. You know, you just abused that position, and you need to fucking really self-reflect and grow up. You need to really grow up, dude. You need to have like a deep introspection, a deep reflection about what your whole life is about. And Esh just talking to Joe Sims from CPUSA at the moment. Are they talking about me? Because I'll react to it if they talk about me. I did hear about that, but I'm only going to react to it if they talk about me. Or if they talk about infrared or the patriotism thing, right? But so Jason, I don't know where you're getting this idea that you're like the godfather of, you know, whatever. Yeah, but this it's like like okay, I'm also getting more shit. Hold on. Hold on. All right. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted by some messages. But yeah, I mean talking about you and Esha's literally told Joe shut the fuck up, Aztec. Shut the fuck up, bro. Yeah, anyway, yeah, look, these people from this website have been doing a lot of nasty, nasty, sick shit. And I hope someone's telling Caleb. I'm gonna probably DM Caleb about it, honestly, because I people are sending me everything. But they've been doing a lot of nasty shit to Caleb and now to Jason, and it's like, yeah, these people are. It's basically just fucking kind of incel, whatever pedo website. But the fact that he comes out in the open and just like posts it like this, dude, this guy's clearly a troll, right? And you go, thank you. What? I don't know. We don't need fake allegations when the Fallout Gate is actually a thing. And I want to talk about Fallout Gate. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about it because I for those of you who have not seen it, I don't know what to tell you except you aren't going to understand what I'm talking about unless... Okay, I'm going to describe it to you so I can actually describe it, right? So, Jason Onruhe is he's filming his computer monitor and he's talking to let me just show it to you. I'm not going to show it, but let me show you the audio. I'll show you the audio.
That's why I say these are random shit. All
So,
And I don't know how it.
that's why I say these are random shit. All of these formats are just random. It's amazing though.
thank you, Janar.
I think that most of the revenue for Facebook actually comes from the
So Jason's playing Fallout while talking to some guy. Hold on, give me a moment. Guys, shut the fuck up. You know every time I shut off the camera, it's because there's food at the door. And there's never any other fucking reason. I don't know why you always think that it's like some serious shit. It literally happens every fucking time that I get Monka S's when I fucking shut off the camera. Yeah, let's continue. Thank you, Patriot. And your question is very broad. So I can't.
Whoa.
What happened?
That's not supposed to happen.
What happened?
I don't know how that happened.
What happened?
The game did something that it's not
Oh
supposed
wow! How
to
did
do.
that happen? This is not appropriate for children, Jason. Holy shit!
No, that's not supposed to happen, and I don't know how it did.
To everybody in Jason's chat, thank you for your encouragement. I appreciate it. You gotta fix that shit, Jason.
Yep.
You have kids that are fans. Holy shit! One that was just on here. Oh man, YouTube's trying to fuck with you, bro.
No, that was my fault that happened.
How did that happen? How?
I disabled that.
Something tells me you're not as cut as that guy in the cartoon.
No. And I think the animation's broken.
I'm confused. Weren't you done with Fallout 4? Now you're back on it. I'm still lost. Still not updated.
There's a bunch of shit that got released.
Bro, as soon as Spell Traveler finds out I'm in Discord, he's gonna be like, good, keep him there. Or I guess that'll help.
Alright, so this went semi-viral on Twitter. It's honestly not that funny the second time. It's like, whatever. But I'll explain to you what just happened in the video. So, Jason was playing Fallout, and he was fighting people in the mod, right? And then he was fighting this woman in the mod, and then randomly, he went into third person. The clothes of his character are gone. Her clothes are gone, and she just gets into position of on her knees, sucking off the character. Just like very mechanically. And it was funny because it's like he's shooting, and then randomly it's like he freezes, and it goes in third person, and just immediately activates the fellatio position. So, so apparently the guy who posted this video, he posted that it's from a mod. Yeah, when it happened, when I watched that video, I didn't know what to expect. So keep that in mind. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then when that happens, when he's naked, I'm like, why is this guy naked? And I'm like, uh-oh. She immediately gets into position. And there's just this stunned silence. Jason's just fucking completely silent. He's like, uh-oh. But wait, this, to be fair, this has a dark turn. Apparently the mod, and this is what the guy who posted the video said, is a combat rape mod. So it's a mod where when you're in combat and, you know, fighting people, some kind of rape becomes activated. So it's not like this is just like some like sex mod that he has on his Fallout, which would be embarrassing enough for a 35-year-old man. It's actually the mod is literally called like combat rape, right? So this is clearly a very sick, disgusting, depraved person. Jason, I don't need to make up any allegations about you because you are clearly a very sick, disturbed fuck, right? And behind all the hammers and sickles and the I'm a communist and all this kind of shit, we can clearly see that you have some really deep-seated, sick perversions and pathologies that, you know, that you manage to expose in front of every... You know, I would say, oh, it's just private life, whatever, but, you know, especially how he comes at me, right? He tried to come at me because... Remember the fucking Kiana stuff that went viral on Twitter? He quote tweeted the video and he goes, huge incel vibes. Because I answered the question. She was like, how many holes between Lauren's waist? And I was like, 2, right? And he responded to that video saying, huge incel vibes. It's like, dude, the fact that you tried to come at me and try to roast me about some shit and jump on that bandwagon and then this shit, you know, you keep just gaining all these fucking L's. I don't even have to seek revenge. And he just fucking stepping on rakes and rakes and rakes. Like, absolutely fucking pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic. This guy's a complete fucking clown. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I used to respect Jason a little bit. I can't defend this guy anymore. I really can't defend this fucking guy anymore. I can't, like, cover for him and be like, oh, yeah, he's the OG, at least. No, you're not the fucking OG, dude. You're just a fucking creepy, weird fuck. You know? You're literally gross. The video's still funny because it's like, dude, how many L's can you take? It's like the curse. It's like a curse, you know? Like, bro, how worse can it get? How worse can you get, bro? What the fuck was that? Uncle Authority responded to your tweet. What a pussy. Twitter.com, Uncle Authority. What did he say? Oh, he didn't even respond to it. Not included, Lenin advocating working among the black hundreds. So I'm just going to respond to this live, and then that's going to be the end of it, right? So let me see what I could do here. I'll just change it to incognito. The incognito tab. Okay, right here. Not included, Lenin advocating working among the black hundreds. Okay, if you cite the relevant passage, Uncle Authority, and I'm responding to you like right now, so it's over, right? And you guys can clip this or whatever if he asks for it. I gave you this one.
What philosophers,
Was not
do I read to
the
get out of
evidence that he
Engelbach
advocated
thinking?
working among them. So the evidence that he advocated working among them is from this tweet, right? And this tweet right here, if you actually read this, this is from Left-Wing Communism and Infantile Disorder. So he says, Black 100. So, when Zubutov, agents of the secret police, organized Black Hundreds workers' assemblies and workingmen's societies for purpose of trapping revolutionaries, we sent members of our party to these assemblies and into these societies. So for you to say, he never advocated to send people to work among them, he didn't need to at the time because they had already done that. The broader point was that he was advocating for communists to work among reactionaries. And the chapter of this is literally, should revolutionaries work in reactionary trade unions? And he answers this with a definitive yes. Okay? So you're coping. You're like, well, Lenin didn't tell people to work among the black hundreds. Oh yeah, but why would Lenin advocate for it when they already did it and when they were already in power? The black hundreds didn't even exist at the time of writing this, right? They didn't even exist. If you don't get that, the point was Lenin was saying like the whole point of me saying Lenin advocated working among the black hundreds, which he did at the time, as evidenced by the fact that they literally sent people among the black hundreds to convert them, lies in the fucking fact that I was using that as an analogy for reactionaries, that defending Caleb. Caleb was talking about, well, we should work amongst people who are homophobic and have reactionary views on social issues, whatever, and abortion. And I said, yeah, even Lenin was talking about how he even advocated for working among black hundreds to convert them and work among them, right? So that was the whole fucking point. The amount of peasants that did or did not support them is irrelevant. But it is fucking relevant because, as you can see here, what you said, Lenin did not advocate winning over the peasants by working on the peasants. And then later in the thread, you did nothing but talk about how, oh, Lenin was saying the black hundreds had no support among the peasants. It's a complete fucking bold-faced lie. So it is fucking relevant. You just straight up told a bold-faced lie and wants to obfuscate. Why did you respond to this one and not literally where I cite this? You responded to the second one right here because I was adding to the tweet. This wasn't the main evidence. All I was pointing out here is that the black hundreds also had support among the peasants, and etc., etc. This was the actual evidence that, oh, you told a lie. No, it wasn't a fucking lie. GG, bitch. You fucking lost, right? But instead of responding to that piece of evidence, he responds to this paragraph. He didn't even address the evidence I cited. This is not relevant to the point of whether Lenin advocated working amongst them, maybe, but that's not the evidence that I cited to address and substantiate that specific point. There's no point where Lenin encourages anyone to work among the Black Hundreds because Lenin did not consider the Black Hundreds a relevant political concern. Then why did he say, when this happened, we, including, which means himself, we sent members of our party to these assemblies. So yes, he did consider them a relevant political concern at the time he is referring to in this paragraph. Are you unable to grasp a single fucking point here? You fucking idiot? You fucking dumbass? Matter of fact, this guy can come on stream and debate me, right? Because I'm wasting time doing this shit. I know I'm not a Twitter guy anymore, but this is just plainly fucking wrong. Between this and his blathering about the KPD not having support for the German peasants, it seems like an effort to hastily write historical fan fiction where every human that ever tilled dirt was as stupid and reactionary as he is, his matching his politics. Why? Why? Is that what you're deriving from the significance of me pointing out the point of the peasantry? And not from the experience of Maoism and the continuity of Marxism through the 20th century and experience, and not from basic sociological kind of analysis between town and country and the dialectic between those? Why does it have to be, oh, it's just this, you have to personally pathologize it because he's just stupid and reactionary? Shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch! And of course, it seems this way because that's 100% what's happening. But that isn't the case. An average human being is much smarter than a Haas. Well, Uncle, come and substantiate that. Come on stream and see if you can hold your own and hold your ground against me in a confrontation and in a debate. We're not only going to see who's smarter, who's sharper, and who's more logical, but also who's more knowledgeable about the history of Marxism, and specifically the history of Marxism-Leninism and the experience of the Bolshevik Party throughout the 20th century. Yes, Lenin did encourage people to work among reactionaries like the Black Hundreds because he literally used the Black Hundreds as an example of the type of people you need to be working among if you ever want to sway and win over the masses. He wrote this even after the Black Hundreds ceased to exist. He thought they were that worthwhile an example to tell the Western revolutionaries that they need to fucking grow up and work among the masses as they exist, not as you idealize them to be. The chapter of this fucking title is literally, should revolutionaries work in reactionary trade unions? Lenin's answer is a definitive and unambiguous yes. Does anyone need any other clarification that this guy's a fucking idiot? He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about? Anyone else need any clarification? Uncle Authority's in chat. Where's he at? Where's he at? Where? What's his name? Shut the fuck up, guys. Yes, Lenin did advocate that because he literally did it. He literally used the Black Hundreds as an example. He would have literally used, if you would have complained about Trump and them being reactionary, he would have been like, but we worked among the Black Hundreds. So that's what it means. That's the context that I referenced Lenin for. The context of Caleb saying we need to work among reactionaries. I said, Lenin even advocated for working among, he did more than advocate it. He fucking did it! And he used it as an example to Western leftists that they need to work among reactionaries. So how is this a fucking point of contention? How can you be a Muslim and a far left? Isn't the point to be of the middle path? The middle path is inevitably far left. These people are not leftists, they're actually right wing. It's dialectics. Ay, ay, ay. Anything else need to be addressed with Unruhe, Jason Unruhe? I don't think anything does. I don't really think anything does, to be honest. Much better. Much, much better.
Pump up the beat now.
The Moppin tweet got 1K retweets. Yeah, we're gonna look at the Caleb's tweet and clarify it. But can we take a moment to just appreciate the unironic beauty of this? Isn't this our symbol? This is my symbol. I just instinctively rally behind this symbol. This is my symbol. I hold it so close to my heart. This is the symbol that, you know, this is my symbol. This is my symbol.
There's no turning back. Ride on the groove, y'all. Come on.
Bring the noise, girls and boys, scream, raise your voice, pump it up, party people, you like it rough. Hey, DJ is not loud enough. Murder on the dance floor, quiet gonna die soon. Pump up the volume.
There's something so beautiful about this. It's going viral on Twitter, and a bunch of people are hating on it. Anti-communists, right-wingers, and leftists are all joining in, bitching and whining about it. But it's the most beautiful thing I've seen in weeks. It was not made to be serious. I take it seriously as a work of art. I take it seriously as a form of art. I struggle with the idea of the United States. I do struggle with it. I've read Dominic Lasudro. I know all the arguments, right? I know all the arguments on this topic and about this matter. And I do struggle. I do struggle with it. But Lasudro. You know, I was thinking about something. And as a Heideggerian, right? And I was thinking about what Logo also said, that the native indigenous Americans do have a special place in sanctifying the legitimacy of any American state. And I just wondered, why should the project of the United States be incompatible with the indigenous people? Why should it be? Who said it was, you know? To me, the indigenous people have a very special place in defining the substantive basis, roots of the United States, right? Why can't we have syncretism, right? I don't see why not. Why shouldn't United States also have be driven by an indigenous spirit? Why not? Or indigenous spirits? Why not? Why shouldn't it? Indigenous people in the United States are the only people, to me, who have a mythos in Heideggerian terms, right? They have a mythology of the land. They have a phenomenal fourfold relation. Sky, earth, whatever. relation to the land, actual land of United America, of this land. And why shouldn't this be united with the United States? To me, the United States is a very open-ended, ambiguous project. It doesn't have to be, it's very ambiguous, you know? I don't think United States has to mean one thing.
There's no turning back, y'all.
We kick out the British, then what? Well, it's ambiguous. There's a lot of things you can do after you do that. But the British Empire is still looming over our country, specifically in the form of Canada. Canada is a colony of the British Empire. It's a vassal of the British Empire. And its influence on United States has always been a rotten, poisonous influence. And that's the truth. People online screaming, calling you imperialist right now. I don't care. It's just funny that I'm being called imperialist for opposing a state that is a embodiment of the actual British Empire. So I'm not sure how I'm the imperialist, but listen, this war hypothetically will not be a war of aggression. It will be a defensive war. Canada is going to be aggressive toward communist America, and we're not gonna, we're not gonna stand for it. Canada has always been a country of British intrigue against our republic. Since the very beginning, it has been a place of British intrigue against our republic. During the Civil War, it was a place of British intrigue, support of the Confederacy against our republic. The Fenians were Irish patriots who were in the Union Army who would invade Canada. They were Irish patriots fighting in the Civil War in the Union Army, and they'd go and invade Canada. They would make incursions against Canada. Listen, America is a naive child. It's like a naive baby, right? It's very naive. We don't know what America is. We don't know what the United States is. We kicked out the British. Now what, right? We don't know. It's open. Why knock on an open door? I don't understand. Why should you knock on an open door? The idea, here's the truth. Many people say United States is white supremacist state. Of course, in a sense, right? But the thing you don't understand is Americans have always been too naive, too simply naive, to have any notion, any connection to something like an ethnos, right? So white has just come to mean urban. That's the truth. White has come to mean attached to some kind of state power or urban power or whatever. Even rural white, to the extent that they have white supremacy, is to the extent that they have made incursions on native land with the backing of the US government, and they created civil outposts against nature and against the indigenous, whatever. That's the source of so-called whiteness. It's not an ethnos. It's not an ethnos with a specific culture and so on and so on. It's the bourgeois, right? It's almost like a purely bourgeois state, right? So, the people with real ethnos, for example, Irish, were not considered white for a long time. I don't think people understand the disease of white supremacy is universalism. It's not a specific ethnos, specific culture, specific tradition or something. So the leftists are the real white supremacists. Here's the truth. The significance of the indigenous within the United States is not because of the indigenous. It's because of white people's guilt. White people want to have a sense of legitimacy. They want to have a sense of what land do I live on? What's the basis of this land? It's all about this kind of existential crisis of urban, conscientious white Americans. This was also true to an extent for the abolitionist movement and for many other religious movements in the United States that were just based on this existential crisis. I'm not saying it's completely false. Indigenous people do have a specific significance for the United States, even from the very beginning. Infrared, you are literally white. I'm white to you, and then I'm not white to others. So make up your mind. I will accept the idea that I'm white when the white nationalists start calling me white. They don't call me white. So when they start calling me white, I'll agree with you that I'm white. But as far as I'm concerned, I get racially attacked a lot by those people. Like, remember that guy, the egg guy? He said all sorts of crazy, Lebanese Neanderthal Haas, he's an Arab this, Arab that, Lebanese this, Lebanese that. Why don't you make up your fucking mind? Am I white or not? Right? I don't think I am white. That's the truth. I think I appear white to some people, but definitely foreign. If you're with me, if you get close to me, you will see I'm not white. That's just the truth. I'm very ethnic in my intimate personal behavior and mannerisms and just whatever. I'm very ethnic. But I don't know.
You gotta feel it right now. There's no turning back, y'all. There's no turning back. Ride on the groove, y'all. Come on.
Bring the noise, girls and boys, scream, raise your voice, pump it up, party people, you like it rough. Hey, DJ is not loud enough.
Lukashenko vid? Not yet. We're gonna watch it soon. We're gonna look at Caleb's tweet now. The one that's getting ratioed and causing a big shitstorm on Twitter.
Guess I left my world in somebody's hands. I don't like to hurt.
Someone linked me the original tweet. It's kind of like buried very far down. I think it was from yesterday. Yeah, I saw the Zizek Varoufakis discussion. Spread the word and mobilize workers. Bob, I want to tell you something, Bob. Bob, stay and let me tell you something. I mean it, and it's gonna help you when I tell you this, because you're gonna have a big self-realization. You are genuinely a stupid fuck. And I mean that. You're actually a dumb person. You think like one. I mean, you're just genuinely not a smart person. Bob, I need you to know that. Because Bob, whatever idea you have of the workers, right? Those are people who have their own lives, and they don't care about ideology like how you think. You don't go directly to random people just because they're workers. That's weird, right? What you do is you address the common places that workers, when on their own free time, media, that's what you do, right? You don't go directly to them. You can't. That doesn't even make any sense. Just because someone's a worker and you're spreading messages doesn't mean they're going to listen to you when you're directly talking to them. But if you address something on the internet or in media, they may listen to you, right? But it's not a direct thing. It's indirect. But dumb people think everything in this life is direct. Just go do it. Just go do it. You want a revolution? Just go do it. But these are all indirect things. There's nothing direct about it. Oh, this didn't get thousands. This is not the new Jackson tweet. If you are opposed to abortion and gay marriage, I might vehemently disagree with you, but you are still my comrade. We need class struggle, not culture wars. Does anyone disagree with this? In my chat? Does anyone disagree with this? That wants to debate it? What are the arguments against it? What are the arguments against this again? So what are they saying against it? What's the argument against it? Oh, the Humanist Report. The Humanist Report. They're not my comrades, and neither are you. 1,000 likes. Yeah, but I'm looking at your profile picture, and I don't think you're anyone's comrade. You're not a comrade of anyone. You're maybe a... You look more like a colleague. You know, you look more like a colleague or some kind of team member, right? Teammate in the workspace for Google or some shit, right? You look like more like an associate. You don't really look like a comrade at all. Your name's well, they're not my comrades, but you're not anyone's comrade, dude. You aren't what comrade means. When we say this word comrade, we don't mean you. You are associate. You're not comrade, you're associate. When you are someone's associate, you are associate. You're not a comrade to anyone. A comrade is a militant fighter. Fighter. Like how the great Julius Malema puts it, a fighter. That's a comrade. You understand? You are an associate. You understand? A comrade is a fighter. A comrade is a tough militant. Proletarian militancy, right? That's a comrade. A comrade, it's like a very militant type of thing that comes to mind here. A comrade's like this. A comrade's like this. Comrade is not like this. That's an associate, my friend. Do I have to tell HR what you said, Caleb? You're not anyone's comrade. Comrade is a matter of life and death. Comrade is mythological violence associated with this word. You think comrade means you? You're an associate. What does comrade mean to you? Comrade. Even when I do it, it doesn't look good because I'm a fucking muscular guy. So I still look tough when I do it. Comrade. Comrade. Excuse me, comrade. Point of personal privilege. Point of personal privilege, comrade. Comrade, point of personal privilege. You're not a comrade to anyone. I'm gonna actually respond to this. Hold on, let me actually get his profile picture. Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna do it like this. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and post this. Who asked? It's just simple as that. It's as simple as that. Isn't it as simple as that? What else you gotta say? Let me find another big tweet responding. This is a big one. This person's name is Rabbi Dunya Ruttenberg. They have a check mark, 1.4 thousand. I don't know who this is. Hey, comrade. People denied abortion care are more likely to live in poverty and remain in abusive relationships, and low-income people. I hate this stupid fucking word. This is I hate this dumb fucking word, man. Can we be done with this word? Can we be done with this dumbass fucking word? Immigrants and others most exploited by capitalism are most denied access. And denying the civil right of marriage has huge financial impacts. What's your point? I have to explain things to stupid people, and this is a very stupid person. So I have to explain things in simple words to the dumb people. So let me address the dumbasses so they can understand what Caleb actually said. It's so... Guys, how much energy do we spend just responding to the stupid? If we didn't have to talk to the stupid, wouldn't we save so much time? Alright, so Dania, Caleb doesn't disagree with being pro-choice or supporting gay marriage. He said he vehemently disagrees with people opposed to those things. So you have to begin from square one. Dania, you gotta know where your square one is. The square one isn't whether people should support the right to abortion or should support gay marriage, but whether you can have the maturity to work with people who oppose those things. And that's what you don't really address here. Well, here's my reasoning for why I think you should support those things. Well, why shouldn't we work amongst people who disagree? Well, because if you disagree, you are actively responsible for it. I don't think that's true. I really don't think it's true. Just because someone is against abortion doesn't actually make them culpable in the problems people face in being able to get abortions. Not immediately, at least. So you can shelf that and focus on more important things. for the time being at least. Why does the left have to treat every single umbrella issue as one? Like, you're either 100% pure or you're totally fucked off, shitlord! You may as well be dead! Really? Everything? You gotta be every single thing? Yeah! Because if you're not dead, that means you are leading to the death of so many indigenous, BIPOC, immigrant, trans people! Hold your horses. That's such a deranged view of how fucking morality works. You don't hold someone directly accountable for all of the logical consequences that follow from the lawful enactment and collective enactment of their views. Let me repeat that one more time. It is deranged and psychotic to hold an individual responsible for all of the political, practical, and collective implications of the actualization of their personal views. Maybe it is true that if someone's personal views were to be taken to their logical conclusion and enacted on a collective level, they would lead to a lot of harm and suffering. But that doesn't give you the right to treat the individual as if they were responsible for all of that. There's an indirect connection between those two things, right? You can only treat individual for being responsible for what they've done, not what they represent politically. Politics and individual is a totally different sphere. You can't hold an individual responsible for their personal views because of the collective political implications of actualizing them. Does that make sense to you, chat? Like, let's say someone's a racist. They have racist personal views. And you're white. You're not someone who is offended by it based on your background. You're white and you have another white racist. You don't have the right to treat this person as if they are responsible for racism on a collective level. Because they're not. What Americans don't understand, but what every other society manages to understand, is that there's a discontinuity between the individual sphere and the social collective sphere. And there's not a direct continuity between those two things. You can't hold an individual responsible for the collective implications of enacting their personal ideals, right? Because collective social realities don't actually follow from the enactment of views, ideologies, and ideas. Ideologies are reflections of objective material realities. It's not because people are secretly racist or patriarchal that you have these things manifest on a collective social level. Sexism and racism, whatever you want else, are responses to deeper symptoms that are not reducible to conceptual individual views, right? So you can't exclude people just because they disagree. If you think, for example, I used to do this myself. I used to be of the view that it's like, well, if you don't, you know, guys, I used to literally be the type of person who was like, if you reject Hegel, then you are literally a slave of the bourgeoisie. I used to say shit like this. Like, if you reject Hegel, then you must be the worst piece of shit scumbag. And, you know, but it's psychotic. It's absolutely psychotic to think that way, right? I do believe that, like, the ultimate consequences of not being able to appreciate dialectics, of course, but you can't get ahead of yourself and just assume that those consequences are already directly realized because of individual actions based on beliefs, right? I almost can't believe Haas ever LARPed so hard. Well, my views come from wisdom and experience. They don't actually come from me waking up on the wrong side of the bed in the morning. There's a reason why I have the views that I do. You know, I don't know where people get this idea of the contrary. But even if this all should be accepted, Danya, that's not the point Caleb's making. You can't hold individuals responsible for that. They say, well, who should I hold responsible? Who should I hold responsible? This is something you have to concern yourself with through participating in the common social sphere, right? You can't individualize it. If you think that if this is truly correct, Danya, you should be able to win people over in favor of it. If there's a barrier to being able to communicate this, something you consider so true to others, that's your fault. It's not their fault. That barrier is your barrier. It's not because they have a dogmatic view that they're not willing to let go. It's because you are ineffective in being able to draw out the individual implications of some kind of perceived social truth. It's actually because you're a failure, Danya. You can't fucking blame others for that. You know? Your job is to convince people of this. And if you can't convince people of this, then shut your fucking mouth. Because this thing you're referring to is at a collective and social level. It's not an individual thing. So insofar as it's at a collective social level, your responsibility is to convince people on those terms. If you can't, shut the fuck up. What you don't have the right to fucking do is psychotically crucify, or I think they may be Jewish, so that's anti-Semitic, I guess. I didn't mean it like that. Please, whatever. I don't even know if they're Jewish, by the way. Just their name is Rabbi, so I don't know. It's not what I meant. See, I caught that immediately. You don't have the right to immediately attack, you know. Guys, don't laugh. Yeah, come on. We don't want to do this stuff. It's honestly a mistake. And I caught it immediately, so whatever, right? I say that about all fucking leftists, right? You know what? You see how I watch my words now? Because I know leftists will literally jump on everything, right? But you don't have a right to attack someone and fucking, you know, scold someone. And like, this is the... Chulo, shut the fuck up, dude. Do I have to unmod you? Every single... You know what? It's in bad taste to say that. I can admit that, right? But you don't have the right to... You don't have the right... It's psychotic to hold people accountable individually for the social consequences of actualizing their views socially. It's completely psychotic. And you know why, Chulo? Because you spam. And I have to delete every single one of the shit you spam. So I have to purge it. And if that demods you, then so fucking be it. I just purged his comments. That's all I did. So I could delete them all. Why should I be the one who has to clean up a fucking mod's fuck-ups, though? Shouldn't they have to delete their own shit? What I'm trying to say is, you know why leftists are so anti-human, evil, psychopathic, and scum-like? Because they are willing to treat individuals because of perceived social injustices. So, for example, let's say someone has transphobic views, personally, right? According to leftists, because transgender people are victims of violence, suffering, and oftentimes murder, things like that, then all of those things are fair game against that person for having those personal views. So if someone is transphobic, it is, according to leftists, it's completely fair game for them to die, and for them to be tortured, and for them to undergo all of the suffering that transgender people do collectively. What an incredibly psychotic, anti-human, deranged fucking view of the world that American leftists have. You know what I mean? Now, a normal human being goes, it's fair game if you inflicted it, the eye for an eye kind of thing, right? It's eye for an eye. So if you individually did that to someone and it happens to you, you don't have to be sympathetic to them because it's karma, it's justice, whatever. But if you're saying, well, the implications of your personal views are this suffering. But the idealism is this idea that these outcomes you're seeing in reality are because of ideologies and personal views, rather than the personal views and ideologies being reflections of material reality. So you have this psychotic idealism, which is literally murderous. It's murderous. If you look at, the TERFs in the UK, and they're especially prominent in the UK, I mean, they get so many threats of violence, doxing, harassment, things about families. I wish they were killed. All these leftists are saying things like that. Why do you have the right to say that? Because they have views that you disagree with? Well, those views directly lead to all this suffering. No, they don't. It's not fucking direct at all. It's a reflection, dumbass. If you can't confidently disagree with people about sensitive cultural issues, you are not only are you a child, you are a fucking dangerous child who I think should be kept apart from the rest of society because you're a danger to normal human beings. You're like a murderous psychopath who needs to be kept away from normal people. Anyone who directly immanentizes the eschaton, anyone who directly enacts all of the consequences of ideological views personally, you're a fucking psycho. You probably should be in a mental hospital, and you need to be removed from the rest of society. You need to calm down and hold your fucking horses because you're putting the cart before the horse. I don't get how people don't know this, and I don't get why so many Marxists call themselves, I believe in dialectics. This is the point of dialectics, you dumb fuck. Dialectics is about discontinuity, discord. Input is not the same as output. The social outcome is not the same as the individual personal input. There's a fucking contradiction between these two things. That's the point of dialectics. That's why dialectics explains the transition from individual thinkers like Marx to the party form of people like Lenin, right? That's how you deal with that difference. It's dialectics, right? But Twitter Marxists think that dialectics just means whenever I'm a dumb fuck who can't explain anything, I have to use dialectics as my excuse. So whenever Luna Oi is confronted with a contradiction that completely renders her ideology meaningless and completely false, she's just like, well, this is how dialectics explains. You just don't understand dialectics. You see, according to dialectics, you need to understand that I can actually be correct while also being false. No, that's not what dialectics is supposed to mean. It's not what it's supposed to mean at all. Dialectics primarily is about, right? This is the simplest way you can understand it. The contradiction between content and form, ideal and material. That's what a dialectics is about. And that manifests in the form, the contradiction between the ideal moral agents that are at the individual level and the objective social material realities that are at a collective and unconscious level. Right? That's what dialectics is about. She's like, well, wasn't Marx different? Well, dialectics explains why I can completely contradict the very essence of Marx and get away with it. Yeah, try again. And what else does this person say? Ay, Allah. Here we go. Here we go, guys. We're going on a wild roller coaster ride. I cannot deal with the cis white maleness of privileging class as though no other impacts on anyone else's body or life matter. GTFO. But what kills me is that he absolutely does not get that his stupid, patriarchal, misogynistic, homophobic take is also horrific class analysis. Daniel, I don't know if you know what the point is that in a given class struggle, many of the workers are going to have incorrect views on these things. So, he's not saying that these things are unrelated to class. He's saying that if you want to wage a class struggle, you have to be willing to overlook disagreements about these things on some level at least, right? Abortion access matters. Nobody said it didn't matter. He said he's willing to disagree with people, but also consider them their comrades. At any point in this thread, do you address that argument? The cream cheese on a cracker. Anyone who cannot see the intersectionality. Very well. This is not Marxist. And it says the white men and women who want to focus on class are basically trying to reinscribe white supremacy, minimizing the urgency of racial justice in this country, as well as the intersection of racial justice and economic justice. Dania, you don't have anything to do with racial justice, okay? You're not going to lead the struggle for racial justice. Black people will lead it. Indigenous people will lead it. Maybe Hispanic people will lead it. It's not your business. It's not one universal struggle from the top down where we're all gonna sit. You know that ad from the EU where everyone just sits in a circle and like all these different cultures come like, okay, guys, and the white woman's leading it. And this is a white woman, by the way. She's leading it. It's like, okay, guys, we're gonna get together and just come to a consensus and then enforce our consensus. The Rainbow Alliance. No, that's not how it works. There's no consensus. There's no prescriptive consensus. Black people will have their struggle. Indigenous will have their struggle. Mexican or Hispanic will have their struggle. And then we will be allied. They will be allied, so to speak, with those who believe in the United States as a project, which is not only white people. And there will be a mutual respect based on recognition of difference. And this is where the class struggle will be waged. That's basic internationalism. It's not that we're gonna mishmash these things like racial justice, economic injustice, sexual justice, fat justice. Yes, fat phobia is also here. Yes, all of these things at once. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. That's how psychopaths think, and that's not the real world. You're not living in reality. You're living in a very strange fantasy land, not reality. I think a lot of leftists are just confused because they're like, Caleb, you didn't convince me, Caleb. I'm not your comrade. Hey, but you're not the workers. Nobody gives a fucking goddamn shit about you. You have a fucking anime profile picture. You're not like the person we're trying to win over here. Like, no, thank you, Caleb. You're not my comrade. Yeah, but nobody asked. Literally, no one asked. Absolutely no one asked. I don't know where you got the idea that someone asked. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about you. You have an anime pro. Like, you're not the workers. You're not the workers. You're not. You're not needed. What if I told you we didn't need you, huh? What then? We don't need you. I don't need it. No, you didn't convince me. Okay, I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to ignore you. The fact that I'm talking to you is because you've crossed my path. Why? Because we use the same words. Communism, socialism, Marxism. That's it. We use the same words. There's no shared understanding of what those mean, what their implications are, and what the consequences are. So don't sit here and act like you're owed something. We're going to... I've had enough of this stupid shit. People trying to quote tweet Caleb. We are going to watch the video of Tоварищ Lukashenko. Our leader, Mr. Lukashenko. Is this the full? Is this the full video? Is it 30 minutes? How long is it? How long is it exactly? Is it 30 minutes? Is this the full one? Is this the full one, guys? Is it the full one? Okay, the full one. We're gonna watch it. Hey, one moment. Should I go on? Okay, bruh. Take a break. Take a break, dude. Let's watch this.
In the eyes of the West, there is one man who is responsible for the migrant crisis on the borders of Belarus and the EU, and that is Alexander Lukashenko, the controversial ruler of Belarus, who's been accused of stealing an election, of launching a brutal crackdown on his own people, and now of weaponizing migration. So how does he respond to these accusations? Well, Mr. Lukashenko has agreed to answer my questions in what is a rare interview to Western.
This guy is beyond based. He's beyond based. There's not, I mean, I'm gonna just say something. This is the greatest man in Europe. The greatest man in Europe. I'm gonna call him the greatest man living in Europe right now. The greatest man in all of Europe. The whole European continent. The greatest man.
Media. Евросоюз, Великобритания, Америка дали понять, что в этом кризисе миграционном виноваты вы, что вы создали этот кризис, вы используете мигрантов как политическое оружие. Вот как вам такая оценка?
Извините, но вопросом на вопрос. Почему в 2014, по-моему, году, когда ваши подопечные в Украине разбомбили Донбасс, вы меня не обвиняли в том, что я принял в течение нескольких месяцев 160 тысяч беженцев из Украины, предоставив им все права, которыми тогда обладали белорусы. Бесплатное образование, здравоохранение бесплатное, работу и так далее и тому подобное. Почему тогда Европейский Союз вместе с Англией, вместе с Великобританией, тогда еще вы были там, и Америка не предъявила мне претензий? Потому что так было нормально, хорошо было. Они не в Европейский Союз рванули, хотя отчасти и туда шли, а 160 тысяч ко мне. И я их принял как родных. В данной ситуации через Беларусь тысячи беженцев хотят к вам.
Но вы их позвали. Вот еще в мае вы сказали. Вот
Сив, я сейчас к этому...
Chad. This dude's just a fucking Chad, dude. I don't know what else to fucking say. This dude's his base levels are off the fucking charts. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. This is my leader.
Личный согнал.
He's like, imagine a leader more base than Putin. That's him in Europe.
Вы не волнуйтесь. Вы не волнуйтесь.
Я не волнуюсь, я хочу просто... Почему позвали?
Значит, они идут через Беларусь, через Средиземное море, не знаю, кто там их позвал, через Балканы, по другим маршрутам, тоже, наверное, позвали, идут к вам, не в Беларусь. То же самое они через Беларусь хотят попасть, в данном случае, в Германию.
Но вы очень публичный сигнал дали в этом году в мае, в преддверии новых санкций Евросоюза, да?
Дайте
сигнал,
мне...
что пойдут мигранты.
Стив,
вы сказали...
дайте мне текст, где я... Покажите мне, где я сказал, приходите к нам. Позвали, это значит, Стив, приходи ко мне в Беларусь. Вот ты попросился интервью, я говорю, приходи.
Вы сказали, мы останавливали мигрантов, а теперь будете сами их ловить, да?
Еще раз повторю.
По разговорам с мигрантами, да, они поняли, что Беларусь открыт.
Yeah, but why should Belarus have to stop them? It's not its problem. That ain't its problem.
Сейчас для них.
Значит, еще раз повторю, чтобы вы понимали. В свое время мы заключили с вами договор о реадмиссии. Тогда вы еще там были. Ну, я про вас говорю как гражданина Великобритании. Вы не против?
What? Change title? No.
Пожалуйста.
Да, вот вы там были. Мы заключили с вами договор о реадмиссии. Это была большая работа, потому что реадмиссия в одну сторону быть не может. Нам надо было договориться и с Россией. России надо было договориться с вами. Ну, в общем, проделали большую работу. То есть, если беженцы у вас прошли через Беларусь, вы нам их возвращали, но вы должны были построить у нас или профинансировать строительство пунктов для этих беженцев. Пошла работа. Вы в конце прошлого года, особенно в этом году, вводя санкции против Беларуси, ушли от договора о реадмиссии. Вы перестали строить эти пункты пропуска для беженцев. И тогда я сказал, ребята, санкции плюс ваш отказ от работы с беженцами и мигрантами, до свидания.
Thank you, Morlock. Oh, yeah.
Почему я должен их задерживать на границе, когда они идут в Великобританию, в Германию? Извините меня, создавать тут некий отстойник или лагеря для этих беженцев. Вот в чем был смысл. Поэтому я и сказал, я не буду их задерживать на границе, держать их на границе, повторяю, и впредь не буду, если они будут идти через Беларусь. Потому что они идут не ко мне, а к вам. Вот.
Belarus should be united with Russia again and Ukraine. It's happening.
Вот в чем был смысл. Но я их сюда не звал. И я не хочу, если же откровенно говорить, чтобы они шли через Беларусь.
Мы работали на границе, мы общались с мигрантами. Я хочу вам говорить то, что они нам говорили. Да? Некоторые говорили. Спасибо Лукашенко, что он дал нам визы, что он дал нам возможность попасть в Европу через Беларусь. Да? А некоторые последние дни говорили, они чувствуют, что вы их использовали как мяч, как оружие политически против Европы. А некоторые нам говорили, что Беларусь, белорусские солдаты прямо помогли им пересечь границу. Вот один мигрант сказал, нас было 150 человек. Ночью нам сказали, что вы пойдете в Польшу. Белорусский солдат резал забор, мы начали бежать, но их поймали в Польше и вернули. То есть это прямая помощь, содействие со стороны Беларуси.
Вы знаете, вы все время говорите, Стив, некоторые. И следуя вашей концепции, BBC, как вы это подаете все, ну, это везде у вас некоторые и кто-то, а кто-то один сказал, что резали проволоку.
Вы мне не верите?
Не, абсолютно нет. Я верю фактам. Так вы мне скажите, где резали, кто резал, и назовите имя этого солдата. А вот так говорит, что некоторые вам сказали, кто-то там позвонил, кто-то в деревне сказал. Ну, слушайте, это не
Александр
солидный
Григорьевич,
разговор.
я не думаю, что человек, мигрант, который мне это сказал, спросил, извините, как вас зовут у солдата, да, в этот момент. Но я хочу сказать, что еще несколько мигрантов нам
Pivoting Andy
говорили,
lost the argument, so has to pivot like a bitch. Pivoting Andy lost the argument.
что если они не смогут попасть в Европу, они не хотят домой в Ирак,
Так.
да, они захотят остаться жить в Беларуси. Вот вы разрешите
У нас
желающим
есть
оставаться?
порядок, в отличие от вас, и закон. И к нам пока ни одного заявления с просьбой остаться в Беларуси не поступило.
А если пойдут?
Поступит в соответствии с законом и очень быстро, в отличие от вас, мы эти заявления...
Yeah, he doesn't refer to him as president because they're trying to fucking have a Juan Guaido in Ukraine. I mean, in Belarus, where they don't recognize him as president anymore. Thank you, Morlock. Appreciate you, man. So much, Morlock.
Смотрим.
О чем вы договорились с канцлером Меркель?
Еще раз говорю, если вы мне упрекаете в том, что мы помогаем мигрантам туда проникнуть, вы положите факты на стол. Вот к стенке меня поставьте этими фактами, а просто так несколько мигрантов, несколько те...
Ну, я вам говорю то, что мигранты нам говорили. Вы дали возможность работать на границе, общаться с мигрантами. Это то, что говорят.
Хорошо, но говорят и другое. Почему-то вы о другом не говорите. Что они шли в Германию, что они хотят воссоединиться с семьями. Вы не поинтересовались, а почему среди вот этих беженцев в лагере, которые 200 детей, даже, по-моему, 400 детей, а 200 женщин, есть беременные. Почему они рискнули идти через Беларусь с детишками? А потому что они шли к своим родственникам.
Объясните, пожалуйста, одну вещь. Вот я находился на границе во вторник, да, когда произошли стычки как раз. И когда мигранты начали забрасывать польские войска камнями, кирпичами, палками элементами пограничного заграждения, когда они начали ломать пограничные заборы, белорусские солдаты стоят.
Why should they? Fuck Poland. Poland fucking tried to help create a color revolution in fucking Belarus. Why the fuck are Belarusian soldiers tasked with protecting Polish soldiers? Someone explain that to me.
Стояли, смотрели, ничего не сделали для того, чтобы остановить этих мигрантов. Вот почему? Это нормально, вот штурмовать границу?
Абсолютно нормально. Только, Стив, не выхватывай из общего контекста один эпизод. Надо сказать это в целом. Значит, они разбили там стихийный лагерь в 800 метров от этого погранперехода. Так? Ты видел этот лагерь, где ночью под открытым небом у костров они ночевали? Видел?
Лагерь я видел, и видел еще, как их пропустили за один прямо до контрольного.
Почему мы должны, мои пограничники, должны были их сдерживать? Мы вообще надеялись, что действительно этот конфликт этим закончится, особенно после разговора с Меркель. Они подошли туда. Дальше что было? Следующий эпизод. Ни камни были. Они стали на колени перед этими польскими офицерами, понимая, что их уже пропустят, наверное, или, по крайней мере, слушай, заявление возьмут. Они стали на колени, извинились перед ними, что неудобства создали, и начали просить, детишки и эти люди, беженцы, начали просить их пропустить. Их не пропустили, и вот там началась эта потасовка. Кто-то камень бросил, кто-то палки и прочее. Вы или ваши подопечные включили поляки, включили водометы и начали их поливать. 0-1 температура была.
Ну, я там находился, я там наблюдал, вас там не было. Я говорю то, что...
Then you're fucking lying.
Значит, не все видел.
Вот так. Я знаю, что вы обсудили этот кризис с немецким канцлером.
Обсудили.
О чем вы договорились?
2000. Я попросил, заберите 200. Тогда было 200, ну, может, чуть больше. Заберите их к себе. Там дети, там, ну, страшная ситуация. Вы это...
Look, this dude's got a big heart. This is a true humanitarian, you know what I mean? Dude's like, you know, come on, man, have some humanity. Europe's such a fucked up, you know what I mean? The EU is just Fortress Europe, you know? Come on, it's like, you know, it's a humanitarian crisis. And I get it, right? Europe doesn't want everyone to be traveling to Europe. I get that. But why the fuck did you get involved in the Middle East in the first place? You got involved there. That's the consequence, bitch. If you're in fucking NATO and you're allied with America and you're meddling in the Middle East, you better be prepared to have some responsibility. So when children start showing up at your fucking doorstep or whatever, it's your fucking obligation to, you know, work with Belarus, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Poland was one of the 4 countries that invaded Iraq in 2003. Sorry, Poland. You wanted to be America's best friend and get involved in all these adventures, then you reap what you fucking sow, you know? You reap what you fucking sow.
Видите, знаю. Заберите их. А останутся у меня порядка 5000. Всего 7000, примерно 7. 5000.
Anon donated $10. New Gideon Renfair vid after this?
Thank you, Anon. I watched the Renfair one. Is there a new one?
Я буду работать над тем, чтобы их отправить в Ирак, в Сирию, в Иран, откуда они приехали, и Афганистан. Вы перестали выходить на контакт и работать.
Yeah. What the fuck's up with that, man?
Не хотите, не надо. Мы без вас будем решать эту проблему так, как получится.
А как Ангела Меркель обращалась к вам? Интересно, вот как господин президент или господин Лукашенко или Александр Григорьевич?
А чего вас это волнует? Господин президент в Беларуси, он же господин Лукашенко.
Это интересно и это важно.
What a disrespectful piece of shit fucking reporter. I long for the day where he could just send someone to jail for disrespecting him like that. Foreign reporter, just, you know, back in the days back in the good old days, you couldn't go to the Khan and just disrespect him right in front of his face like this, if you're a foreigner especially. The hell's up with that?
Для меня никакого не
People had respect.
имеет
Потому что,
значения.
как вы знаете, вас в Евросоюзе не признают легитимным президентом.
А
Поэтому
меня
интересно,
это...
как...
Слушайте, а мне наплевать на то, что в Евросоюзе вы думаете о президенте Беларуси. Меня избирал не...
And fuck the fucking EU. Fuck the EU. Fuck the EU. Fuck the EU. Fuck the EU. Fuck them. Fucking gives a shit what they think.
Евросоюз. Вы меня не признаете четверть века. Вы просто, Стив, не в курсе дела, наверное. Четверть века меня не признают в Евросоюзе. Ну и что?
А как Меркель обращалась?
Слушайте, и меня избирает белорусский народ. Поэтому мне важно, как меня воспринимают мой народ.
А вот этот вопрос легитимности.
The question of legitimacy to who? To the fucking EU? Who gives a fuck what the EU thinks? Question of legitimacy. Oh, I don't know. The most important countries in the world recognize me. Russia, China, Iran. These countries recognize me. Big countries with big populations and big power. The EU? Who gives a fuck what they think? You know what I mean? Who gives a fucking shit what they think? What are they gonna fucking do about it is the question. That's the question. What are you gonna do about it? Nothing. So shut the fuck up like anyone should give a shit.
Он для вас важен?
Абсолютно. Он мне не важен абсолютно, как вы будете там меня легитимным считать или нелегитимным. Вы лучше разберитесь, как вы будете с Байденом общаться. Он для вас легитимен или нет? С моей точки зрения, нелегитимен. Вы видели, что происходило на выборах.
Oh, wow. Guys, we gotta chill. We gotta be careful, but you can laugh, but Mods, you have to really be careful, okay? Look, all I can say, working class internationalism comes in many forms. The international solidarity of the working class comes in many forms. That's all I gotta say. And that's what it means, by the way. It doesn't mean Luna Oi. It means this.
Вы знаете, я нахожусь в Беларуси, и меня интересует ситуация здесь.
Подожди, не перебивай меня. Вы находитесь в Беларуси, я не против, какие вопросы задаете, я провожу параллели, чтобы вы поняли, что мне глубоко наплевать на то, что обо мне сегодня думают в Англии или в Соединенных Штатах Америки или Евросоюзе. Потому что весь мир увидел ваше лицо.
Вау.
Ваше лицо, и вы его видели на этой границе. Поэтому я особо не парюсь, как вы там ко мне относитесь.
Oh, God forbid. Listen, if you're a true American patriot, not a fake one, there's a lot of fake American patriots. If you're a real one, you gotta recognize this man is your brother. He's a brother from another mother. He's a brother from another motherland. You understand? This man, your brother.
Найдем мы для себя партнеров и союзников без Великобритании. Мы и не очень-то с вами и сотрудничали до этого. Ну, не хотите, ну и не надо. Не умрем, как вы хотите, мы не умрем. Мы будем жить, и будем жить с каждым днем все лучше, потому что у нас есть страны, с которыми мы сотрудничаем, огромные страны. И И то, что нам надо продать...
Yeah! Fuck the EU! Fuck the stupid fucking EU! Who gives a fuck what the EU thinks? They think they're the fucking center of the world. You're a fucking peninsula! You're just the fucking peninsula of Asia. Europe thinks it's the center of the whole fucking world. You're not even really a continent. Eurasia's a continent. Europe's not even a fucking continent. Think it's the center of the whole fucking world. Like everybody gives a fuck what you think. You're not that fucking relevant, EU. China's got 1.4 billion people. Russia's bigger than you. Fuck the EU.
Мы в Евросоюз мало чего продавали. Мы продадим, несмотря на ваши санкции. Я, конечно, не идиот и понимаю, что эти санкции не мне, точно не вам и тем более не мне не нужны. Но если вы начали разговаривать со мной санкционным языком и не признавать мою легитимность... Ну,
so the EU doesn't even recognize this guy as the president, and yet they're still bitching at him for letting the migrants pass through his country? Shut the fuck up, you bunch of bitch-ass EU motherfuckers. The audacity, holy fuck, the audacity. I need you guys to know how big the Soviet Union used to be. How big Russia always was in history. The fact that EU's talking down to this dude, unfucking believable. See, their mistake is that they think Belarus is isolated and it's just some, it's just some shithole country in Europe or something. No. Belarus is part of the Russian big space. Okay? And the day's going to come where they reunite with Russia. I don't know on what terms or how it's going to look like. They're going to reunite with Russia. And Ukraine's coming too, right? Ukraine's coming too. And when that happens, you're going to start putting some respect on the name of Belarus and leaders like Lukashenko. Bitch. It's going to be just like how in the Cold War, when European leaders had to fucking grovel at the feet of Soviet leaders. It's going to be just like that. How it always supposed to be. America's not the only fucking cowboy in town. And it's not even going to be there's no reason America should be a cowboy in the town of fucking Europe anyway.
Господь с вами. Я еще раз говорю, четверть века я уже к этому привык.
Возвращаемся к Беларуси. Вот объясните мне, пожалуйста, одну вещь. Да? Если вы, как утверждаете, получили 80% голосов на выборах в прошлом году, то почему тогда вышли толпы народа в Минске, да не только в Минске, по всей стране, да? Не для того, чтобы вас поздравить, да, с
Fuck 'em! Fuck 'em! The Democrats of Belarus, the Antifa of Belarus, the George Soros color revolution of Belarus. Fuck them! The DSA of Belarus, not my president.
крушительной победой, а для того, чтобы обвинить вас в том, что вы украли их голоса. Вот несостыковка какая-то, нет, получается?
Это у вас несостыковка в голове, Стив. У вас и у ваших патронов. Отвечаю на ваш вопрос. Вы назвали цифру 80%. Это не я цифру назвал. Это назвала законная Центральная избирательная комиссия.
Ну, вы согласны с цифрой?
Послушайте меня. ЦИК назвал эту цифру 80%. Это факт, законный факт. Вы говорите, толпы вышли и прочее. Стив, 25 лет толпами ходят по Минску после выборов ваши сторонники в Беларуси. Это было постоянно.
Но, Александр Георгиевич,
только в этом году, вы слушать не умеете, только в этом году это было более подготовлено с вашей стороны, вами.
You know why this shit don't work in Belarus? Because in the countryside, the Belarusian people are behind their leader, Lukashenko. So all this dumb shit that happens in Minsk, it don't fly. It don't fly. Because in Belarus, the people control the country, and the country control the city. And in England, London control the country, and the city control the country. See the difference? When these dumbasses in the cities get worked up and decide to throw a tantrum, throw a fit, it don't work because the countryside isn't with them. We don't have a tyranny over coastal cities over the country like in this country we have that.
Немецкими, английскими, американскими фондами деньги вбросили, людей здесь на фоне пандемии подготовили, и этот процесс занял чуть больше.
Это не ответ на мой
чуть
вопрос.
Больший послушай меня, чуть больший промежуток. Поэтому не толпы ходили здесь, а максимум, когда собрали со всей страны, услышь меня, со всей страны, ты из Москвы должен был это видеть, со всей страны собрали, на пике было 46 тысяч, там 700 или 600 человек. Здесь, в Минске.
Я находился здесь.
80 тысяч, если не...
Yeah, 46,000 looks like a lot, but it's not in the grander scheme of things.
Будешь слушать, разговор закончится, если ты этого хочешь. Поэтому 80% это законный, неопровержимый факт. Других цифр у вас нет.
И все-таки 80%, да, вот должны быть, по идее, какие-то проявления, я не знаю, всенародной любви к победителю, к лидеру, да.
Why? Why? This is completely stupid, illogical bullshit. Why? Why can't they just elect him? They don't have to go and demonstrate after you elect someone.
Вместо этого люди выходили в большом количестве и кричали: «Лукашенко, уходи!» И вы летали на вертолете в бронике с автоматом, как будто вы боялись собственного народа. Несостыковка. Если 80% голосовали за вас, почему в большом количестве? Я находился в Минске в это время, и я, конечно, не посчитал каждого протестующего. Огромное количество, да, вся...
Belarus has waged a holy war of resistance for 25 years. Holy war of resistance against the satanic West.
Площадь...
Я вам назвал цифру максимум. Вы меня не слышите?
Я слышал вас.
There were protests 1/4 the size of that in relation against vaccine mandates in Berlin.
Ваши цифры,
Я
да.
вам назвал конкретную цифру. Хотите, подарю вам эту карту. Я когда был в СИЗО у этих наших предателей, я им подарил эту карту. Вот где Воскресенский был, известная фамилия, Тихановский и Бабарика, и другие. Вы видели это, я с ними разговаривал. Я им положил на стол карту, фотографию вот этой толпы, как вы ее назвали. Там их было на пике 46 тысяч. У нас около 10 миллионов проживает. Вы говорите любви.
You know, this is something I do remember when I was growing up for the during the Green Revolution in Iran, which I was a little sympathetic toward later on, right? Where the Mousavi contested Ahmadinejad's election. And then afterwards, I was like, what the fuck? Because afterwards, the countryside decided to show unity and support. And it's like, holy fuck, those green protesters were like it was like, I've never seen so many people out on the street. They were just totally swarmed. I was like, fuck, that's the silent majority for you, you know? It's always the countryside. That's just a silent majority.
Это в Америке вы умеете, в Великобритании изображать любовь. А что было после выборов? Сколько у нас людей приходило на митинги и до сих пор ездят с государственными флагами. И люди все больше и больше прозревают. И сегодня их уже не 80%. Сегодня их 87, а может и 90%.
Господин Лукашенко, я освещал много уличных манифестаций, демонстраций, протестов, да, по Европе. Да. То, что я видел в Минске в прошлом году, было гораздо больше народа, чем 40-50.
How did you see that? Did you count them? Did he count them? What do you mean he saw more than that? Is that something you see with the naked eye? You saw far more than that. How? How?
Да? Вся площадь независимости была заполнена.
You fucking dumbass. Do you not know what 40,000 people looks like? It's pretty big, okay? 40,000 can fill up the fucking Independence Square, you fucking dumbass. It looks big. It's just not big within the grander scheme. You're talking out of your fucking ass. You don't know basic math. You don't know basic fucking geometry. Completely fucking stupid fucking reporter.
Но огромное количество.
Не ври. На площади Независимости никого не было. Там был один митинг, на котором я выступал.
Вы верите, что я был, находился?
Почему нет? Мы же демократическая страна. Кто хотел, тот и
когда я вам говорю, что мы видели.
Что вы видели?
Мы видели большие толпы народа.
Большие, согласен.
Видели, как правоохранительные
They're
органы
not big. He said they're not big relative to the country.
забирали людей. Мирные протестующие.
Oh, they
Мирные
were peaceful.
демонстранты. Мы видели, как били этих людей. И мы видели, как выходили из Окрестина молодые парни, да, с побоями. Это мы видели. Это не взято с интернета, да. Это мы видели. Кадры, вот смотрите.
Не надо, я это признаю.
Вы признаете?
И в Окрестина получали там, и избитую милицию. Вы только бойцов из Окрестина не показывали, что они были избиты. А что бы было, если бы у вас или в Америке, тем более, бросились на милиционера, начали ему ломать ноги. Он бы получил пулю в лоб сразу, но мы ни в кого не стреляли пулю в лоб.
Подавляющее большинство протестующих, которых мы видели в прошлом году, были абсолютно мирными. Это были на самом деле самые мирные протесты, которые я наблюдал. И даже, знаете, то, что произошло, то есть такое впечатление на меня сделало, да, что после протестов белорусы убирали за собой. Все было чисто на улицах. Да, абсолютно. Да, очень.
Ну, вы им посоветовали, когда мы начали показывать, как вы ломали и крошили в Минске, в чистом Минске, наш народ не привык к грязи, вы тогда им подсказали, вы так на картинку чего-то уберите, а мы вам покажем картинку, как бросали ящики с цветами и громили улицы и прочее. Про какую чистоту ты говоришь, Стив?
С июля месяца, да, ликвидировано 270 НКО Беларуси.
Отвечаю на твой вопрос, не трудись. Выражем всех мерзавцев, которых вы финансировали. Ах, вы озаботились, что мы уничтожили ваши структурки. НКО, НПО.
He's talking about structures. He's not talking about people. He's talking about structures.
И прочее, которые вы финансировали. Мы, людей, которые работали на Беларусь, которые помогали людям, пальцем не тронули, а те, которые пользовались вашей помощью, получая от вас финансирование и громили здесь, ваши, которых вы видели здесь в Минске, мы, если мы кого-то не ликвидировали, то мы их ликвидируем в ближайшее время.
То есть офис по правам.
This is a very biased translation. Yeah.
Людей с инвалидностью ликвидирован, да?
Слушайте.
He said liquidate. He said liquidate. He didn't even say massacre. He said liquidate. Liquidate does not mean massacre. Liquidate also applies to structures, not people.
Любители животных. Это разве оружие?
Yes. What did he get? Yes. Yes, the Center for Animal Lovers. Yes, shut it down. Shut down the fucking Center for Animal Lovers. Shut that shit down. Yes. Fuck yes. Fuck yes.
Инвалидности ликвидирован, да?
Слушайте.
Центр любителей животных.
Yes, they are weapons of the West.
Это разве оружие Запада?
А то, что вы называете животных там, звучит на картинку. А вы посмотрите, чем они занимались. Вот для меня, кстати, это новость, но я уверен, что вот это была шильда, что они защищали животных, а деньги они получали на свое существование и на революции здесь. Не на революции, на мятеж.
And also, you know why the West funds all these NGOs for like animal rights and all? Because it gets people into the mentality, the Americanized activist mentality, that all America is the ideal society because everything is based on individual rights. See the point?
Поэтому не прикрывайтесь этими словами. Животных вы тут поддерживали.
270.
Morality. Everything's based on individual morality. I'm an activist. Morality. The so-called progressive left. And if you reject this, you're called a reactionary. Shut the fuck up, you CIA piece of shit. Some Russian speakers say he didn't say massacre. He didn't. He didn't say massacre.
НКО работает против Беларуси.
And fuck all those NGOs. Fuck them all.
Западом, да?
Я не знаю.
The only thing is that in America, we want to make illegal the NGOs too.
Сколько точно финансировали вы НКО, но если они ликвидированы...
By the way, you know the Gang of Three? The Gang of Three and the CPUSA who are against me? They work with these NGOs. They work with all these NGOs that fund color revolutions. In America and abroad. Just letting you know.
Значит, было за что. Если вы считаете, что какая-то организация, НКО или НПО, ликвидирована там незаслуженно, еще что-то, пожалуйста, обратитесь. Можете напрямую ко мне. Я в течение суток разберусь. В течение суток. И если кто-то попал в этот список незаслуженно, он добро приносил животным, как вы сказали, мы его немедленно восстановим, немедленно. Поэтому не надо цепляться за слова.
Еще одна цифра.
270 организаций НКО. На Беларусь-то какую? 270.
Еще одна цифра, да? 873 политических...
And how many in the United States? How many political prisoners in the United States? And they're not even counted as political prisoners here, by the way. They don't even count them as political prisoners here. Way more than 873, I'll tell you that. Way more. Way more. We don't even know the amount. They don't even count it correctly.
заключенных.
У нас нет политической статьи, Стив. У нас нет политической статьи, по которым мы осудили или судим людей. У нас их нет.
873 человека.
Это люди, нарушившие белорусское законодательство.
То есть сколько политзаключенных в Беларуси?
У нас нет.
Yeah, a political prisoner, like a fascist journalist who fought for the neo-Nazis in Ukraine. It's a political prisoner.
Политзаключенных. Ты что, не слышишь, что я говорю?
Ни одного.
Ни одного, потому что нет такой статьи.
А Мария Колесникова не политзаключенная?
Это ваш агент.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Few words have been said more true. She's simply a Western agent. It's not a hyperbole. It's not an exaggeration. Oh, he's just... No, that's exactly the factual truth of the matter.
Это ваш агент.
Почему она сидит?
И вы, потому что она нарушила закон.
Ну, смелый человек, согласитесь, да? То есть возглавила протесты, не покинула страну.
Мария Колесникова бежала из страны, ее задержали на границе.
Она
You fucking dumbass. What a fucking dumbass. Oh, wow. What a literal fucking idiot.
паспорт разобрала.
Она съела паспорт, это ее дело.
Она не хотела покинуть страну.
Слушайте, я не знаю, что она хотела. И знать не хочу. Она бежала вместе со своими соратниками.
А то, что она сидит, это не месть с вашей стороны?
Абсолютно нет. Запомните, я не тот человек, который может мстить. Запомните это и усвойте, если вы хотите, как человек меня понять. Я против женщин, я часто говорю, не воюю.
Хочу спросить про Владимира Путина. Да, вы вместе работаете.
А почему вы у него не спросите? Вы в Москве живете.
Я у него спрошу про... У него спрошу про вас.
Про вас?
Sorry, Putin, he's just not based enough, dude. Putin is not keeping up with the base levels. I gotta say it. And I have every reason to prefer Putin because Putin is my height. And this guy's a tall guy. But I have to tell you, Putin is not living up to base levels enough. He's too liberal. You know my criticism of Putin? He's too liberal. That's honestly my criticism. Far, far too liberal.
Ну, спросите сначала про меня.
But I'm not Russian. It don't matter what I think.
Но вот
It's just as an outside observer.
и вы давно работаете вместе, да? И мне интересно, что вы научились у него, а что он, может быть, научился у вас? Как вы думаете?
Когда спросите у него, что он у меня научился, вам понятно станет, чему научился я у него. Точка.
Ну, вы вместе сейчас создаете новый интеграционный...
Yup. Union integration. No reason these countries should be separate.
Создаем. Вы с Америкой, я с Россией.
Вот. И
вы с Америкой, Англия, с Америкой, Великобритания, а я с Россией. В чем проблема?
союзного государства нет с Америкой.
Будет. У вас больше, чем союзное государство. Вам американцы...
Мне больше интересует, что...
Вам американцы сказали уйти с Европейского Союза. Трамп сказал, вы ушли.
А где доказательства?
А там, где толпы людей по Минску ходили, и их было огромное количество.
Да, это на кадрах, это все
И
видео.
это на кадрах, это факт.
Скажите,
Неоспоримый.
вот для этого
Скажите,
союза...
пожалуйста, почему вы бучу не поднимаете по поводу беженцев с Франции? 600 человек недавно к вам проникло. И у вас конфликт с
This
Великобританией.
guy's so fucking aggressive. Imagine he was interviewing me. They would never send a guy to interview me. Just imagine. Imagine what it'd be like. One of these journalists come and interview me. I would make him look like the biggest bitch in front of his whole family. I would make BBC look like a bitch-made fucking piece of shit media.
И Макрон пригрозил вам, что он отключит электричество на каких-то ваших островах британских. Почему вы об этом не рассказываете народу? 600 человек приплыло к вам. Вот последняя партия.
Вы знаете, потому что я нахожусь в Беларуси, есть корреспонденты там, которые рассказывают об этом. Поэтому, да.
Вопрос,
Возвращаясь
ответ принимается, Стив. Спасибо.
к союзу.
Call you angry and unhinged. You know, Mr. Barzini, I've seen you talk shit in Zerka's chat. You a little bitch. You know you a little bitch. What do you got to say about your bitch-made behavior? Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate you. Think I don't see that? Little bitch-ass Barzini? Mr. Barzini? Little pussy?
Будет, может быть, не через год, через 2 года, один лидер для этого союза, один президент, общий президент. Есть такой план для этого союза? Союз России и Беларуси.
Союз – это два суверенных, независимых государства, которые выстраивают этот союз. Когда вы с американцами выстраиваете союз, речи не идет о том, что у вас не будет королевы и парламента.
The CIA has their feet kicked up? What does the comments say? What does the comments say? Yeah, a bunch of CIA shills in the fucking comments. The first time you ever see that bullshit. Bunch of fucking traitors. They're bots. I know they're bots. Of course they're bots. It's not real people.
У нас союзного государства нет.
У вас союз есть, и вы мне задали вопрос, поэтому слушайте мой ответ. Слушайте мой ответ. Значит, вы когда...
Yeah, YouTube removing the ratio button is really making me consider I'm exploring other platforms now because I think YouTube's done. After they remove the dislike button, now I'm like, okay, maybe those other places, maybe those other places are the future because, YouTube is just removing that dislike button. That's the last piece of authenticity YouTube had. So now I'm thinking about moving and going on other platforms now because YouTube, YouTube, you really fucked that up. I'm exploring other platforms.
Свой союз.
There's a shadow internet,
Вы американцам не сказали, что у вас не будет королевы и парламента. Точно так и мы свой союз, формируя с середины 90-х, еще начиная с Ельциным, четко определялись, что это будут две страны, Беларусь и Россия, которые выстроят союз, и он будет мощнее, чем унитарное государство. Вот вам откровенно говорю. А вопроса один президент, два президента, мы никогда с Путиным, клянусь вам, этот вопрос не обсуждали. Никогда. Потому что такого вопроса в повестке дня не стоит.
Truth is, there was going to be a union state, and Lukashenko was going to be the leader of all Russia and Belarus. And honestly, I wonder if it would have been better as an outside observer, because I think it would have been. he was going to be the leader of Russia and Belarus. Thank you, Morlock. Appreciate you.
Владимир Путин
Yeah, this is why I say Putin's too liberal. Why would you say that, Putin?
вчера посоветовал вам, по-моему, общаться с оппозицией. Будете так делать?
Слушайте, Владимир Путин, не знаю, кому вам советовал, еще кому-то советовал, он мне ничего не советовал. Я с ним разговаривал вот сейчас больше часа.
Yeah.
Больше часа. И никаких советов с его стороны ни по одному из вопросов я не услышал. Это первое. Я могу параллель провести. Вот как только Путин с Навальным сядут за стол переговоров, я мгновенно со Светланой начну вести переговоры.
Вы бы хотели, чтобы
Him and Putin have tensions, and I think it's mostly because Putin, he's just like, he doesn't respect him enough, I don't think. I don't know what it is. But Putin, he just doesn't take him that seriously enough. That's my psychological examination. Putin, he thinks he has these liberal friends, and thank you, Johnny, appreciate you.
Путин с Навальным сели?
Это его проблемы. Я в такие хотелки не играю. Для меня, если вы хотите мою точку зрения знать, для меня Путин, для меня Навальный – это продажный человек. И Путин с ним
He don't let himself get bullied,
никогда не сядет за стол переговоров. Он не оппозиционер для Путина. Он предатель интересов России. Понимаете?
Вот все, кто высказывается против вас, да, ваши оппоненты, да, вы называете предателями или враги.
I relate to Lukashenko so much, personally. I relate to him a lot, because it's like, he's just surrounded on all sides, and he just, he can't catch a break. You know what I mean?
Почему?
Это не мои предатели, Стив. Это предатели
If I was any country, as a streamer, if I was any country, I would be Belarus.
Белорусского государства. Есть беглые, есть предатели, которые сидят в Литве, в Польше и финансируют, и у вас. Санников, по-моему, в Лондоне.
Oh, Zerka, it's right next to the title. Remember?
Сидит. К нему вот вопросы задайте. И финансируют, подпитывают их, вы их содержите. Недавно в Литве назвали цифру. Около 400 тысяч евро обходится содержание одной из беглых, которая в Литве сидит. Вот с этими, это не оппозиция, это предатели. С ними мы никакого диалога и никаких переговоров вести не будем.
Ну, вы понимаете, почему Европе, Евросоюзу, да?
Bro, you're not the NATO of Twitch. You're the fucking, let me think. What would Zerka be of Twitch? No, he's not Albania. I'm talking about of Twitch. Of Twitch? What country? I feel like Zerka would be the fucking... Nah, Zerka would be the Russia of Twitch, I think. I think it would be the Russia of Twitch. Because it's the biggest... He has the biggest platform of going against the grain. It's the biggest platform going against the grain, just like Russia's the biggest country that goes against the grain. You know what I mean? It'd be Russia.
Трудно с вами общаться.
Вам со мной сложно, потому что я не танцую под вашу музыку. Я провожу независимую политику. И от вас, и от кого угодно, от американцев, от англичан, от Евросоюза, я вижу свой народ. Но вы что, скажете, что я...
Or he'd be like, I don't know who's... Maybe Train would be Russia, and Zerka would be like Kazakhstan or some shit. I don't know.
Соседей там теребил.
Not Kazakhstan. Which one's... yeah, Kazakhstan, actually.
Что организовывал с поляками, латышами, литовцами...
Actually, yeah. What's that one country? Nah, it'd be Kazakhstan or Turkmenistan, one of those countries. Kazakhstan's that country that's ruled by the dictator. It was just the whole country's the whole capital was built in the image of his narcissism. That would be Zerka, Kazakhstan.
Украинцами какие-то драки.
And it's hated by all of Europe and America, and it's allied with Russia. North Korea? Who's North Korea? Fuck, who would be North Korea? No, I'm Belarus. I'm Belarus. I'm this guy's country. What the fuck would be North Korea though? I'm trying to think. Jackson? Yeah, Jackson is kind of like North Korea. Jackson is kind of like North Korea because for now he's kind of small on Twitch, and he's very, very much under attack by everyone. No, Jackson would be North Korea. Jackson would be North Korea.
На границе. Никогда. Зачем вы в прошлом году пришли в наш дом и пытались его разрушить? Зачем? Какое ваше дело?
No, dude, you're not North Korea, you're Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan's similar.
До наших выборов. Мы же не лезем в Великобританию или в
Hassan's USA? Yes. Yeah, Hassan's America. On Twitch.
Америку. Мы же не лезем в ваш дом. Вы чего пришли в наш дом и начали его крошить?
Call? I just saw now.
Fuck you mean, bro? I'm North Korea fucking Twitch.
No, fucking North Korea is too small.
Yo, hold on. Check out how everyone operates around you and Jackson. Orderly, fair, etc. Blah, blah.
That's not true.
I'm North Korea. Ain't nobody fuck with me for 3 years. I couldn't even get a fucking check mark. I'm North Korea of Twitch.
No, it's Kazakhstan.
Bro, I'm North Korea of Twitch. Even you were afraid of me at one point. You said I'm erratic. You said this guy's like fucking just goes at everyone.
That's Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan or Turkmenistan.
Bro,
Same thing.
You know what? You're just I'm afraid to tell you, bro. You're South Korea.
Fuck, shut the fuck up, bro. I'm not fucking South Korea. What fucking world am I fucking South Korea? Shut the fuck up, bro. The fuck? Not South. I'm the Belarus of Twitch. Destiny's the UK, Hassan's the US, and yeah, Vosh is Japan. No comment.
Yeah, Japan is just the US, bro. You can't do that.
Yeah. No,
Hold
Dylan
on.
Burns is like fucking Sweden or some fucking...
If there was ever anyone on Twitch nicknamed Rocket Man, that would be me. You would be an aggressive nation that is fair and orderly. You're fair on some of your debates, dude. I'm not fair.
I'm either Belarus or I'm Iran. I don't know. One of those.
No, hold on. You would be Russia.
No, I'm not big enough.
Well, not yet, yeah. But that's what you'll be on Twitch.
I feel like I'm more like Belarus. Did you see this interview?
No, not yet.
This is one of the most based leaders in the whole world.
Are you gonna rewind it?
No. 30
Then
minutes.
fucking give us context, bro.
He's just fucking talking to some BBC journalist and he's just fucking owning him.
Bro, have you seen the fuck I can't say it.
Ahmadinejad?
Yeah. Bro,
Yeah.
have you seen him own the fucking American Reporter?
Yeah.
Bro, that guy is so fucking crafty. What the fuck?
I grew up, dude. I remember that. I grew up with that shit.
Bro, I grew up and my schools were teaching me to hate that guy. So I went and did my own research, and it turns out he's just a fucking, you know what I mean? It was just fucking bullshit. And everything he said kind of came true.
Yeah. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, no, he's really fucking based on some topics. All right, I'm gonna be in chat.
All right, for sure.
Ломать.
Но мне кажется, что постоянные обвинения в адрес Запада, или НАТО, или Польши, или кого угодно, да, что они создают проблему здесь, что все, что происходит здесь, это результат их неработы, это неправда, это сказка, нет?
Вы пришли в Беларусь, где живет мирные 10 миллионов человек, пострадавших в последней войне как никто. Евреи только могут сравниться с тем, как пострадали мы и они в той войне. Вы почему пришли в мой дом?
Александр Григорьевич, ну при чем здесь Вторая мировая?
Damn.
Как при чем? Как при чем? Вы молиться на нас должны до сих пор. Вот при чем.
True.
Молиться, потому что мы воевали против фашизма, вроде в коалиции с вами. Вы не помните? Вроде с англичанами в коалиции. Помните дядьку, который с сигарой все время ходил и курил, и у нас с трубкой? Вы этого не помните?
А при чем здесь Вторая мировая война и сегодняшняя политическая ситуация в Беларуси? Это разные вещи, абсолютно разные вещи.
Стив, я вам объясню. Вы за Вторую мировую войну с белорусским народом еще не разобрались, не рассчитались за те потери, которые мы понесли. Еще только 80 лет, еще 100 лет не прошло с начала войны, а вы уже ворвались опять в этот дом и пытаетесь новую войнушку развязать
да
здесь.
Никто не ворвался,
вы же понимаете, что если мы
войну
развяжем здесь войну, в Беларуси будет тянута НАТО и будет тянута Россия.
Hold on. Yo, hello? Hello?
Yo, bro, you better be careful with this one.
Ah, chill. It's fine.
Это ядерная война.
Никто не хочет новую войну.
Чего тогда лезете сюда?
Мы не лезем сюда.
Вы лезете, вы в прошлом году финансировали мятеж. Вы финансировали. Вы управляли мятежом с территории Польши. Вы, а за вами стояли американцы.
А люди, которые вышли на улицу и кричали «Лукашенко украл наши голоса», они были финансированы Западом.
Of course they fucking were. The fuck?
Нет, они действительно верят и думают, что вы украли
Все
голоса.
лидеры финансировались Западом. В противном случае они там прибежище сегодня не нашли. Они все сидят у вас. Почему? Они сбежали туда, откуда их прислали и откуда их финансировали. Слушай, Стив, что ты мне рассказываешь? Эти все тихушки, лохушки, цыпкалы, они у вас сидят. Почему? Потому что это
Everyone else knows this.
ваши люди, и вы их финансировали. Они же не побежали в Китай. Не побежали, их бы там не приняли, потому что они к ним не имеют никакого отношения. Слушай, что ты темнишь? Ты же это прекрасно понимаешь. А ты меня упрекаешь, репрессии. А что ты от меня ожидал? Я должен был защитить страну и свой народ. И я это сделал.
Или себя.
Может быть, я в чем-то был неправ, но я сделал так, как прописано в наших законах.
Based.
Ну, не обижайся, ты сам затеял этот разговор. Он братский диалог, он старший брат, я младший.
Give me a sec. I'm gonna wash my hands. Oh man. Ah. Damn. What interview? That's old interview. An old interview. Yeah, what the fuck is this? YouTube removing the fucking dislike counter ignored their... Oh, I'm on the LSF. Hold on. I'm on LSF. I need to go on the infrared. There we go. What the fuck is this? Did they mention me? Did Esha mention me with Joe Sims? Did they get around to mention me? Putin? Let's see if there's a recent one. Full interview with Putin. This was 1 month ago? Okay. We'll try this one. This one first. This was 5 months ago. I kind of want to watch that.
Mr. President, thank you
Okay, we'll watch this one.
again for having us at Russia Energy Week.
Damn, she's way taller.
Mr. President, I want to ask you a little bit more specifically about succession plans. Every good CEO has one. When you think about this with regards to Russia, do you really want to be president when you're 84 years old?
Господин президент, хотел спросить, каждый исполнительный директор всегда думает о том, кто будет его преемник. Что вы думаете о вашем преемнике? Вы действительно хотите быть президентом, пока у него будет 84?
Нет, я на такие вопросы предпочитаю не отвечать. Это традиционный мой ответ.
I prefer not to answer to such questions. This is my traditional response.
До следующих выборов еще достаточно много времени.
We'll wait for the upcoming elections. We have quite
Разговоры на эту тему дестабилизируют ситуацию.
and a conversation in this regard destabilize the situation.
Putin's he's a liberal, right? He's just a liberal in the Russian context.
Спокойный, стабильный, с тем, чтобы все органы власти, все государственные структуры работали уверенно, спокойно, смотрели в будущее.
And the situation must be stable and safe in order for all the power structures and state structures to work responsibly and securely.
Да, Конституция позволяет мне это сделать, баллотироваться на следующий срок, но никаких решений на этот счет пока не принято.
You mentioned several. I'm sorry.
Constitution allows me to run for another 6 years, but I haven't taken a decision in this regard.
Mr. President, I want to ask you specifically about the Middle East. You mentioned
Damn, she's so fine. What the hell?
several times your relationship with Saudi Arabia, that of course via OPEC plus. How do you see the region today?
You know the CIA does this thing where they send honeypots your way? Yeah, Russians in the West hate him. She is fine, dude. And you know what? All I gotta tell the CIA is, yo, send them my way. And maybe they will succeed. But because that might manipulate me. I'm not gonna lie. Especially if you send me like some big booty honeypots and shit. Actually, send me like three at a time, right? Because that might actually manipulate me, Yo, what up, bro?
Yo.
Yeah. Yo, how's she not fine?
She's just not fine, bro. But I don't want to get into that right now. You said the CIA does honeypots, yeah?
Yeah.
Check this out. Kay Griggs and so many others have leaked, wives of army generals, that the KGB were the only ones who they would get them. The CIA would get everyone drunk, right, before they bring prostitutes and stuff like that with politicians and world leaders. The KGB would train themselves to hold the liquor in their mouth and every few seconds turn around and spit it out somewhere. So every fucking leader would get lit drunk except them, and then they can fucking gather intel and all that. And I just remember, I thought, I was like, dude, even when I'm at a house party, right, I'll be like one shot in when everyone's 20 shots in, like I'm never stopped.
Yeah, same.
Right. It's kind of a good thing to like
do you do that thing also where it's like
I spit the drinks out too, yeah.
I don't get drunk with strangers.
Yeah.
I don't do that shit.
I don't even buzz with strangers that hard.
Yeah,
I spit alcohol out and I slow myself down. I water down shit.
Yeah. I don't trust that, bro. Alcohol.
And I have such a dominant personality, so I literally go, "Yo, come on, are you still on that shot?" and I pressure everyone, right? And everyone starts drinking more. And they're like, if he's pressuring me, that means Zerka had 10 shots. But I didn't even have one. I just pressure people.
Yeah,
You know
bro.
what I mean?
I don't go near alcohol around other people. I don't trust, especially if I don't know them. They're
Yeah.
strangers.
Yo, I'm back in chat. Talk about the honeypots to the people who don't know, bro.
Yeah. Yo, so I'm just saying, honeypots, whatever. There's just, honeypots, they send intelligence people, they send honeypots to gather intel, get people to open up and share secretive information, to steal shit, whatever. All I'm trying to say is that if the CIA did that to me and they were sending honeypots my way, depending on the type of honey we are talking about, it may succeed. So CIA, you watching this, send, and it will work really well. Like, you send like 3 big booty bitches at once my way, and I get like a foursome with 3 other, whatever. It probably will work, CIA. It'll probably work. And I don't know why I'm telling you this weakness of mine. This is a weakness I have, and I'm just just letting you know that it'll work if you do that, because yeah.
Are you worried about what's happening there?
Big booty is overrated. A fit ass is better than a fat ass. Bruh, no, not fucking. I would not fucking get with. Can you even say that? Prostitutes? I would not get with them. But a honeypot's a different story, because you know why I like honeypots? Because honeypots are actually agents, and there's something sexy about that. I'm not gonna lie. There's something sexy about like an agent being able to pipe an actual like a CIA agent or something. It's just something inherently sexy about that. The thing is too is that Putin slams the West for cancel culture. Oh yeah, that one. We'll watch that one after.
With the departure of the United States.
Я думаю, что Ближний Восток — это очень перспективный регион мира.
I think that the Middle East is a very promising region of the world.
И то, что я сейчас вижу и в Объединенных Арабских Эмиратах, в Саудовской Аравии, руководство этих стран предпринимает энергичные шаги для того, чтобы диверсифицировать свою экономику.
And now I see that the leadership of the UAE and Saudi Arabia makes energy.
Bro, how could you say she's not fine? Look at her. She's actually beautiful. The fuck?
Steps in order to diversify their economies.
Руководство этих стран думает о будущем.
Leadership of these countries think about the future.
И я уверен, что они будут добиваться результатов, потому что действует.
Yeah, she looks like a CIA agent.
Очень целенаправленно.
And I'm confident that they will achieve results because they are very goal-oriented.
The fuck said she looks like a pretty version of my foot? The fuck does that even mean?
Что касается наших усилий по стабилизации мирового энергетического рынка, то да, у нас все это происходит в довольно жестком режиме. Мы спорим друг с другом, отстаиваем свои позиции.
Concerning our efforts to stabilize the world energy market, of course, the interaction is tough. We argue, we protect our positions.
Но до сих пор находили сбалансированные, приемлемые для всех сторон решения.
I can't believe I'm only like an inch taller than this guy. I'm like here. Damn. I'm like right here. I was standing next to him. Damn.
But so far, we've managed to reach mutually acceptable solutions for all of us.
И наши партнеры, хотя, казалось бы, они лидеры в углеводородах, в добыче и продаже нефти, все-таки они строят планы и по зеленой энергетике, что на первый взгляд выглядит очень странно, но это реально происходит в жизни.
And our partners, they are leaders in terms of hydrocarbons and their production and marketing, but our partners, it may seem strange, but they are also investing in green energy.
Мы с ними говорим о возможности вкладывать средства, большие ресурсы в...
This is a boring interview. Let's watch this one.
Mr. President, it's been a long time since you sat down with an American television network, almost 3 years, I think. Thank you for your time. There's a lot to discuss. I hope we have time to get to all of the issues. But I want to begin with some news from the US just today. In the US, it's reported that Russia is preparing, perhaps within months, to supply Iran with an advanced satellite system enabling Tehran to track military targets. Is that true?
Would you mind repeating the question again? That we are preparing to hack what kind of facilities?
No, the report. Report today is that Russia is preparing to.
This is what I would do in interviews too. I'd just be like,
to give or to offer to Iran satellite technology which will enable Iran to target military to make military targets.
Нет, у нас нет таких программ.
No. We don't have that kind of programs with Iran.
Это просто чушь
очевидная. No, it's just nonsense all over again. Yet again, we have cooperation plans with Iran, including military and technical cooperation, and all of this fits the framework of the decisions that were agreed upon in our program in regard to Iran's nuclear program in the context.
You know what? You're right. He actually does understand English. Not a lot of people know that. He can speak English and he understands English. He just wastes their time.
Of UN decisions, together with our partners in the preparation of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Actions, whereby at some point sanctions, including in the area of military and technical cooperation, should be lifted from Iran. We do have certain programs, but they all concern conventional weapons, if it gets that far. However, we haven't even gone to that stage yet. We don't even have any kind of real cooperation, even in the conventional weapons area. So if anybody is making something up regarding
Thank you, Morlock. Appreciate you.
modern space-based technology, this is just plain fiction. This is just fake news. At the very least, I don't know anything about this kind of thing. Those who are speaking about it probably know more about it. It's just nonsense.
So presumably you'd agree that giving Iran satellite technology.
Presumably you'd agree that giving Iran satellite technology
that might enable it to target US servicemen and women in places like Iraq, or to share that information with Hezbollah or the Houthi.
Hezbollah or the Houthi
in Yemen, so they could target Israel and Saudi Arabia. That giving Iran that kind of satellite technology would be dangerous.
Послушайте, что мы обсуждаем?
Why are we talking about problems that don't exist?
Нет предмета для обсуждения.
There is no subject for a discussion. Somebody has invented something, has made something up. Maybe this is just a bogus story in order to
like, dude, I'm not that based. Come on.
Limit any kind of military and technical cooperation with Iran. I
just a normal guy.
will say once again, this is just some fake information that I have no knowledge about. For the first time, I'm hearing about this information from you. We don't have this kind of intentions, and I'm not even sure that Iran is even able to accommodate this kind of technology. This is a separate subject, a very high-tech subject. Yes, indeed, we don't rule out that cooperation with many world nations and us is possible in space, but probably everybody knows very well our position in terms that we are categorically against space militarization altogether. We believe that space should be free from any and all kinds of weapons located in near-Earth orbits. That is why we don't have this kind of plans, or any plans, especially concerning the transfer of technology up the level that you have just described.
So let's move on to your summit with President Biden. The context for the summit is that he is meeting with the G7, a group that you used to belong to.
The Gyno 7.
NATO, with European leaders. President Biden has defined his first trip to Europe as, quote, about rallying the world's democracies. He views you as a leader of autocrats who is determined to undermine the liberal democratic order. Is that true?
Well, I don't know. Somebody presents it from a certain perspective, someone else looks at the development of the situation and at yours truly in a different manner. All of this is being offered to the public in a way that is found to be expedient for the ruling circles of a certain country. The fact that President Biden has been meeting up with his allies, there is nothing unusual about it. There is nothing unusual about a G7 meeting. We know what G7 is. I have been there on numerous occasions. I know what the values are in that forum. When people get together and discuss something, it's always good. It's better than not to get together and not to discuss. Because even in the context of G7, there are matters that require ongoing attention and consideration because there are differences, strange as it may seem. There may be differences in assessments of international events on the international arena and among themselves. Very well then, let them get together and discuss it. As far as NATO, I have said on many occasions, this is a Cold War relic. It's something that was born in the Cold War era. I'm not sure why it still continues to exist. There was a time and there was some talk that this organization would be transformed. Now it has been kind of forgotten. We presume that it is a military organization. It is an ally of the United States. Every once in a while it makes sense to meet up with your allies, although I can have an idea how the discussion goes along there. Clearly everything is decided by consensus. However, there is just one opinion that is correct, whereas the other opinions, all of the other opinions, are not quite that correct, putting it in careful terms. Well, there we go. Allies are getting together. What's so unusual about it? I don't see anything unusual about it. As a matter of fact, it's a sign of respect to the U.S. allies before a summit between the U.S. and Russian presidents take place. Probably it is being presented as desire to find out their opinion on the key issues of the current agenda, including those issues that President Biden and I will discuss. However, I'm inclined to think that despite all of these niceties, the United States, as far as their relationship with Russia, will be promoting what they consider important and necessary for themselves, above all for themselves, for their economic and military interests. However, to hear what their allies have to say about that probably never hurts. This is a working procedure.
So let's talk about your meeting with President Biden, the summit that will happen after those meetings. President Biden asked you to meet with him. He didn't make any preconditions. Were you surprised?
Нет. У нас отношения двусторонние.
Bro, Biden's not even awake. People say Biden this, Biden's that. The guy's not even he's not even like consciously aware.
Have a bilateral relationship that has deteriorated to what is the lowest point in recent years. However, there are matters that need a certain amount of comparing notes and identification and determination of mutual positions, so that matters that are of mutual interest can be dealt with in an efficient and effective way in the interests of both the United States and Russia. So
this is how Biden rules as a president. He just goes, ah! And then all these academics and experts are like, Mr. Biden, this is what needs to be done. Mr. Biden, this is what needs to be done. He's like, okay. That's all it is. He's not actually a leader himself. All he does is just like, he's just a fucking, he's just like an empty, he's like a fucking whiteboard, and they just draw whatever they want on him. That's all it is.
There is nothing unusual about it.
An empty shell.
In fact, despite this seemingly harsh rhetoric, we did expect those suggestions because the U.S. domestic political agenda made it impossible for us to restore the relationship at an acceptable level. This meeting should have taken place at some point. So President
Can you believe Bill Clinton got head while he was sitting in the Oval Office? Is that true? That he was like sleeping with Monica in the Oval Office? That he was just getting head sitting on that shit? Is that actually how it worked? Like he was sitting in the Oval Office on that desk and she was crouched under giving him head. Is that actually how it was? Yo, what the hell? Is that actually how it went down? How did he get caught? That's my question. How did he get caught? He was taking calls. I heard about that too. I just don't know where it's from. It's crazy, bro. That's strange to me. That's a little strange. Like you're the president of the US. Couldn't he have I think it was all staged. I thought it was all staged. Like he was the president, bro. He could have gotten what's her name? What's the finest 90s woman name? What's her name again? She was the hottest woman in the 90s. Salma Hayek. There you go. Etu got it exact. First guess. Salma Hayek. Bro, fucking, if you're a president, he could have called up Salma Hayek and she probably would have showed up to that White House. Not gonna lie.
Biden launched this initiative. Prior to that, as you will know, he had supported the extension of the START treaty, which of course was bound to meet with support from our side, because we believe that this is a treaty in the area of containment of strategic offensive weapons. It has been worked through and thoroughly and meets our interests and meets the U.S. interests. So this offer could be expected.
Will you go into the summit agreeing to begin more arms control talks immediately after the summit? Because, as you mentioned, President Biden has extended New START by 5 years. Washington would like that to be the beginning, not the end.
About power? I don't understand that.
Of that
power over who?
Conversation.
Мы знаем, какие вопросы.
We know what matters and what problems Americans want to discuss with us. We understand these questions, matters, and problems. We are prepared for this joint work. We have certain, if not differences, then different understandings of what pace, at what pace, and in what directions we need to be moving. We know what constitutes priorities for the U.S. side, and generally speaking, this is a process that needs to be advanced at the professional level, along the lines of the Foreign Ministry and Defense Ministry on the Russian side, and Pentagon and the State Department on the U.S. side. We are prepared for this work. We've heard signals that the U.S. side would like to see these negotiations resumed at this expert level of professionals. We will see if the conditions for this have been created following the summit. Of course, we're not saying no. We are prepared to do this work.
President Biden wants predictability and stability. Is that what you want?
Ну, это самое главное.
Well, these are the most important things. This is the most important thing. This is the most important value, if you will, in international affairs.
He didn't say no. His translation's wrong, dude.
Sorry to interrupt you, but he would say that you have caused a lot of instability and unpredictability.
No, this is why he doesn't meet with Western reporters.
Well, he says one thing, I say another thing, but maybe at some point, in certain ways, our rhetoric varies and is different, but if you ask my opinion now, I'm telling you what it is. The most important value in international affairs is predictability and stability. And I believe that on the part of our US
What's the cancel culture one? I don't know what the fuck that one is.
partners, this is something that we haven't seen in recent years.
Link it to me and I'll fucking watch it.
What kind of stability and predictability could there be if we remember the 2011 events in Libya, where the country was essentially taken apart, broken down? What kind of stability and predictability were there? There has been talk of a continued presence of troops in Afghanistan, and then all of a sudden, boom, the troops are being withdrawn from Afghanistan. What? Is this predictability and the stability again? Now, the Middle East events. Is this predictability and stability what all of this will lead to? Or in Syria? What is stable and predictable about this? I've asked my US counterparts, you want Assad to leave? Who will replace him? What will happen when somebody replaces him? The answer is odd. The answer is, I don't know. Well, if you don't know what will happen next, why change what there is? It could be a second Libya or another Afghanistan. Do we want this? No. Let us sit down together, talk, look for compromise solutions that are acceptable for all the parties. That is how stability is achieved. It cannot be achieved by imposing one particular point of view, the quote-unquote correct point of view, whereby all the other ones are incorrect. That is not how stability is achieved.
Let's get to some of those issues. I want to just talk a little bit more about...
Guys, what is RGR and DOE? What is that? RGR and DOE. Everyone on Political Twitch is talking about it. Can someone get... What is that? Should I know? Should I care? What is it? Should I know or should I care? What is it? What is it? I kind of want to know what it is. Hey, yallah. What is it? It's getting like thousands of views. I just want to know what it is. They had a display on public displays of affection. So, is that what's causing all the hubbub? That's what's causing all the hubbub? So? Why is that worth so much attention? DOE claimed that Riley called her a pedo. Imagine just not having gyno and just not caring about that. I think there's a gyno barrier to entry to care about that. You have to like have gyno to get into the weeds of that whole thing. Like, oh, she said this, and then she said that, and then you know what I mean? You have to have some kind of gyno to just like understand why everyone's talking about it 1 week later. Because I heard about this a week ago. I tried to get into it. I still didn't see what the big deal was. And I'm still struggling to understand why people are still talking about it. What up, Monkey? How you doing, man?
Please. Your relationship with President Biden. This will not be the Helsinki summit. President Biden is not President Trump. You once described President Trump as a bright person, talented. How would you describe President Biden?
Sleepy and incompetent.
Ну, я сейчас считаю, что...
Well, even now.
Let me see your emote. It's actually a cool emote. Look at that. Monkey Rage. Based.
Now, I believe that former US President Mr. Trump is an extraordinary individual, talented individual. Otherwise, he would not have become a US President. He's a colorful individual, and you may like him or not. And he didn't come, of course, from the US establishment. He had not been part of big-time politics before. And some like it, some don't like it, but that is a fact. President Biden, of course, is radically different from Trump because President Biden is a career man. He has spent virtually his entire adulthood in politics. He has been doing it for a great deal of years, and I have already said that, and that is an obvious fact. Just think of the number of years he spent in the Senate, and how many years he was involved in...
Post more of those. We need to mute perms, not... Bro, the girls... Look, dudes, for some reason, the girls don't like it on my channel because all the banned people from Zerka's chat and... apparently people in my chat, I didn't even know about this. Apparently they go super hard on them. So I don't know. I don't know what that whole thing is about.
matters of international politics and disarmament virtually at the expert level. That is a different kind of person, and it is my great hope that, yes, there are some advantages, some disadvantages, but there will not be any knee-jerk reactions on behalf of the sitting US president.
Hold on, bro. Let me collect myself.
And that we will be able to comply with certain rules of engagement, certain rules of communications, and we'll be able to find points of contact and common points.
Bro, why did she hate you so much? Oh, man. And did she ban you from her chat?
That's about it. And what will actually happen, we will need to live and see based on the actual practical policies and results thereof.
Well, President Biden says, one time when you met, you were inches away from each other, close to each other. And he said to you, I'm looking in your eyes.
Supposed to be blamed me. She said, this is all because you're in Haz's chat. The fuck is that, man? She said, this is all because we did it with Haz's chat.
And I can't see a soul. And you said, we understand each other. Do you remember that exchange?
As far as soul, I'm not sure. One has to think about what soul is. But I do not remember this particular part of our
Hold on, bro, Thermal, you can't say that shit, bro.
conversations, to be honest with you. I do not remember. We all, when we meet, when we get together, when we talk, when we work, we strive and achieve for some solutions. We all proceed from the interests of our nations and our states, and this is fundamental and is the bedrock of all our actions and intentions. And this is the driving force and the motive for organizing meetings of this kind. And as far as soul goes, that's something for the church.
Yeah, you're a religious man. President Biden is saying he told you to your face you don't have a soul.
I do not remember this.
He says
Bro, he's calling Biden a liar.
it was 10 years
Maybe
ago.
there's
10 years
something
ago when
wrong
he was vice president, he says.
with my memory.
You
Well,
called him a liar.
he probably has a good memory. I
Nice. Can he? Oh my god, bro.
do not rule this out, but I don't remember this. Generally, in personal encounters, people try to act appropriately. I do not remember any inappropriate elements of behavior on the part of my counterparts. I don't think that anything like that has happened.
Would you have felt that was an inappropriate thing to say?
What, dude? What do you think? If you tell someone you have no soul, yeah, probably. What do you think?
Ну, смотря в каком контексте, смотря в какой
Well,
форме.
that depends on the context. It depends on what form they're said in.
По-разному это все сказать.
You know, one can say it in different ways. It can be presented in different ways. But generally, people meet up in order to establish a relationship and create an environment and conditions for joint work with a view to achieving some kind of positive results. If one is going to have a fight with somebody else, why bother and have a meeting to begin with? One is better off looking into budget and social policies domestically. We have many issues that we have to resolve. What's the point then? It's just a waste of time. Of course, one can present this for domestic political consumption, which I believe is what has been done in the United States in the last few years.
Exactly. He's making shit up.
Where the US-Russia relationship was sacrificed for the sake of a fierce political strife inside the US. We can see that. We know it well. We have been accused of all kinds of things: election interference, cyber attacks, and so on and so forth. And not one time did they bother to produce any kind of evidence or proof.
I looked that Putin guy in the eyes and I said, "You don't have a soul."
Just unfounded accusations. I'm surprised that we have not yet been accused of provoking the Black Lives Matter movement. That would have been a good line of attack.
And maybe he dreamed it.
Do you think
we did not do that?
What do you think of the Black Lives Matter movement?
I think that, of course, this movement was used by one of the political forces domestically in the course of election campaigns.
True.
But there are some grounds for it.
True.
Let's remember Colin Powell, who was Secretary of State, and he was also in charge of the Pentagon. Even he wrote in his book that even he, as a high-ranking official, had felt some kind of injustice towards himself his entire life, as someone with a dark complexion, even from the USSR days. And in Russia, we have always treated with understanding the fight of African Americans for their rights. And there are certain roots to it. There is a certain foundation for this. But no matter how noble the goals that somebody is driven by, if it reaches certain extremes, if it spills over.
Didn't a Call of Duty game or some dumb shit have a BLM parallel that actually was funded by a foreign power? What? Where?
Into extremism, acquires elements of extremism, we cannot approve this. We cannot welcome this. So our attitude to this is very simple.
Does anyone know how the Call of Duty Vanguard campaign turned out? Like, what happened in that campaign? Anyone know?
We do support African Americans' fight for their rights.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab something. One sec.
But we are against any types and kinds of extremism, which unfortunately, sometimes, regrettably, we witness currently these days.
You mentioned cyber attacks and deny.
Guys, I'm probably gonna be in LA for Christmas. Probably gonna be in LA for Christmas. For Christmas. Probably gonna do a Christmas stream.
Any involvement by Russia. But Mr. President, there is now a weight of evidence, a long list of alleged state-sponsored cyber attacks. Let me give you 5. There's a lot, but it makes a point.
I'm not gonna like LA. I'm gonna like getting head.
The US intelligence community says Russia interfered with the 2016 election. Election security officials said Russia tried to interfere with the 2020 election. Cybersecurity researchers said government hackers targeted COVID vaccine researchers, hacking for COVID vaccines. In April, the Treasury Department said the SolarWinds attack was the world's worst, with targets including 9 federal agencies. And just before your summit, Microsoft says it's discovered another attack with targets including organizations that have criticized you, Mr. Putin. Mr. President, are you waging a cyber war against America?
Give a guy head after the first date, but we'll cringe. Bro, I don't talk to people who don't just they have to be down to pipe immediately, or I'm not gonna waste my time. Because just like Zerka said the other day, this is the truest shit I ever heard. If she's not gonna let you pipe immediately, she's gonna let some guy at the gas station anyway. She let some random guy at the gas station pipe that she found at the gas station, you know? That's true. It's so true.
Дорогой Кир, вы сказали, что есть
Dear Kir,
целый набор доказательств.
you have said that there is a weight of evidence of cyber attacks by Russia. And then you went on to list those official US agencies that have stated as much.
Every girl, listen, almost every girl who would give you the opportunity to pipe and make you wait, let's say she makes you wait 1 week, right? Then yes. Now, if she's the type that's like only in a marriage or something, then no. But if it's like that, where if you're gonna make you wait a week or a month, yeah. There's a dude she'll meet at the gas station. He gets the pipe right away. So why waste your time?
Is that what you did?
Well, I'm giving you information about who said it, so you can answer.
What basically, if you don't get the pipe right away, she's basically saying the guy at the gas station's better than you. And that's basically you getting rejected. So take the L and move on.
Да.
Right. Right.
Would you marry a chick who let you pipe before marriage? Yes, I would.
You are conveying information to me as to who said that, but where is evidence that this was indeed done? I will tell you that this person has said that and that person has said this, but where is the evidence? Where is proof? When there are charges like that without evidence, I can tell you, you can take your complaint to the International League of Sexual Reform. Will you be happy about it? This is a conversation that has no subject whatsoever. At least put something on the table so that we can...
Hold on, I'm gonna go wash my hand. If she cancels the first date, block her. Yes. Very fucking true. That's actually very true. If she cancels on the first date, yeah, block her. And actually block her too, so she knows that you actually not only never want to see her again, but you actually dislike her and she's a bad person. That's why you do have to block some people. You have to just tell them, like, not only will I never speak to you again, but you're actually a piece of shit person, and I actually dislike you.
Look and respond. But there isn't anything like that.
Tarek, you don't gotta risk it. There's plenty of women who will show up on the first date. You don't gotta waste time with people who don't even show up on the first date.
latest thing, as far as I know, one of the latest attacks was against a pipeline system in the US. Right, yes. So, what?
But this is, but you'll mention.
Just a moment. As far as I know, the shareholders of this company even made a decision to pay the ransom. They paid off the cyber gangsters. If you have listed an entire set of US special services, powerful, respectable, global, after all, they can find whoever the ransom was paid to. And once they do that, I hope they will realize that Russia has nothing to do with it. Now, there's some kind of a cyber attack against a meat processing plant. Next time,
if she has a super legit excuse like an emergency, it's fine. Nope. It ain't fine. Even if she got struck by lightning, it's not an excuse. Even if her cat dies, it's not an excuse. Even if her dog dies, it's not an excuse. No excuses whatsoever at all. Tarek, that's not a good excuse.
they will say there was an attack against some Easter eggs. It's becoming farcical, like an ongoing farcical thing, a never-ending farcical thing. You said plenty of evidence.
She can come have a shoulder to cry on, okay? There's no excuse.
But you haven't cited any proof, yet again.
If she gets hit by a car and is in the hospital, that's still not a good excuse. They're still getting blocked.
But this is an empty conversation, a pointless conversation. What exactly are we talking about?
She should have driven better, or, you know, she should have told the hospital people to wrap it up because she's got places to be.
You've moved on to this question of ransomware and
you think she would have crashed for the guy at the gas station? For the guy at the gas station, she wouldn't have crashed. She would have been completely fine. So you have to remember that.
Criminals, Russian-speaking criminals is the allegation, are targeted.
Yeah, should have taken the bus. That's exactly it. There's no excuse in the world. There's no excuse. The bus driver crashed. She should have had better judgment choosing what bus drivers she's going to allow to be driving her around.
Targeting the American way of life, food, gas, water, hospitals, transport.
What it means is that when she got on the bus to see you, she looked at the bus driver and she didn't even put the effort to make sure that this is a good bus driver because she don't respect you. For the gas station guy, she would have double checked. Trust me.
Why would you let Russian-speaking criminals disrupt your diplomacy? Don't you want to know who's responsible?
You know, the simplest thing to do would be for us to sit down calmly.
Fractal, very good. That's exactly what I got to see. She cancelled on you because her finger got injured by a table saw. I blocked her immediately. No excuse. That's exactly what I got to see. That's exactly what I got to start seeing. I don't want to see these excuses in the chat. All these dumbass excuses.
And agree on joint work in cyberspace. And we did suggest that.
It's like the girl said, oh, I can't hang out. I got drunk with a friend last night. What? Bruh, that's an insta-block. Not only is that a block, that's a block, and go find her MySpace from 2008 and block her MySpace.
To Mr. Obama's administration, we started in September, during his last year in office, in October at first. They didn't say anything. Then in November they came back to us and said that yes, it was interesting. Then the election was lost. We restated this proposal to Mr. Trump's administration. The response.
I once had a date that said she canceled because she was paralyzed while skydiving the day before. Block her, bruh. Nobody told her she's got to be skydiving. That's a very dangerous activity.
Was that it is interesting, but
she wouldn't have been skydiving if the day later it was going to be the guy at the gas station. Trust me.
It didn't come to the point of actual negotiations. There are grounds to believe that we can build an
effort. Get canceled again for this? I don't give a fuck. I stand by every word.
Effort in this area.
I'm giving legit advice so the fine young men in my chat don't gotta waste their time with some bullshit. Oh, I can't come. My parents were in a car accident. Wow, okay. Well, then you have a shoulder to cry on at the date.
With the new administration, we hope that the domestic political situation in the United States will not prevent this from happening. But we have proposed to do this work together. Let's agree on the principles of mutual work. Let's find out what we can do.
What I'm hearing is go get a job at the gas station. No, that's the worst part. The dude at the gas station who gets the pipe immediately, pipe at first sight. You know how they have love at first sight? Such a thing as pipe at first sight. He don't even work at the gas station, and he don't even have a car. He's just walking around, and he just happened to be at the gas station. And he gets the pipe immediately. And you have to put in effort. Wow, what a loser.
Do together. Let's agree on how we will structure counter efforts against this process that is gaining momentum. We here in the Russian Federation have cybercrime that has increased many times over in the last few years. We're trying to respond to it. We're looking for cyber criminals. If we find them, we punish them. We are willing to engage with international participants, including the United States. You are the ones who have refused to engage in joint work. What can we do? We cannot build this work. We cannot structure this work unilaterally.
Her husband ended up in a car crash? Well then, all you're telling me is she don't have a husband anymore. You can be her husband.
Well, I'm not the government, Mr. Putin. I'm just a journalist asking
I understand that.
Questions. But if you clearly want to negotiate, you must have something to negotiate with. You don't ask for a truce unless you're...
No wonder you're single. Difference with me, I have options to choose from. I have options. You know what? You basically just saying, no wonder you get to pipe whoever you want. And you don't have to be committed to anyone. Oh, wow. I don't have to be loyal to anyone. What a crime. What a crime.
You're fighting in a war.
You know, as far as the war, NATO, officially, I'd like to draw your attention to that.
Do you believe in monogamy? Yes, I do. But my personal experience has been nobody's worth me. Nobody's worth my commitment. When I tell you they don't deserve me, I mean they don't deserve me. When I tell you they don't deserve me, when I tell you nobody deserves me, I mean no one deserves me. I swear I mean that.
Based.
Not Irusa 300 milliona.
Svetos, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you.
NATO has officially stated that it considers cyberspace a battlefield, an area of military action, and conducts military exercises in that battlefield.
And you're involved in that battlefield. Russia is fighting on that battlefield, correct?
No, no, no.
Really?
That is not correct. Really? If we wanted to do that, NATO did say that it considers cyberspace an area of combat, and it prepares and even conducts exercises. What stops us from doing the same? If you do that, we will do the same thing, but we don't want that. Just like we don't want space militarized, in the same manner, we don't want cyberspace militarized. And we have suggested on many occasions agreeing on mutual work in the cybersecurity area. But your government refuses to.
I saw your proposal from September, from just in September. Isn't what you're proposing that if you can come to an agreement over hacking and election interference, then you'll call off the hacking and the election interference if America agrees not to comment on your elections and your political opponents?
What we count on is that nobody should interfere in domestic processes in other countries, neither the US in ours or we in the USA's or any other nations. All nations of the world should be given a chance to develop calmly. Even if there are crisis situations, they have to be resolved by the people domestically, without any influence or interference from the outside. But I don't think that this call by the US administration is worth anything. It appears to me that the US government will continue to interfere in political processes in other countries. I don't think that this process can be stopped, because it has gained a lot of momentum. However, as far as joint work in cyberspace to prevent some unacceptable actions on the part of cyber criminals, that definitely is something that can indeed be agreed upon. And it is our great hope that we will be able to establish this process with our US partners.
If you were in America, what would you fear might happen next? The lights being switched off the way they were in Western Ukraine in 2015?
Why?
I don't understand. You mean if I were in America? What would I be afraid of if I were an American, or what?
What should Americans worry? What might happen next if there's no agreement on cyber?
You know, this is the same as space militarization. This is a very dangerous area. At some point in the past, in order to achieve something in the nuclear area, in terms of confrontation in the area of nuclear weapons, the USSR and the United States did agree to contain this particular arms race. Cyberspace is a very sensitive area. As of today, a great deal of human endeavors rely upon digital technologies, including the functioning of government. And of course,
I'm in the zoo with the lions and apes and bears. You probably won't make it there. One of the ops they say they will smoke with me. Don't want to take it there.
I was on TikTok, doing my thing, scrolling, and I saw this controversial hair transplant surgery. If Tory Lanez could do it, if Tiger could do it, if LeBron could do it, why can't I do it?
Right here it comes on the lace.
It's like leave
Looks stupid, bro.
it like this. Girls are gonna think I'm mixed or something.
Well, we're gonna cut it down so it's gonna look real natural. It's gonna look like yours.
I'm about to take a lot of pics with this haircut, bitch. About to take a nigga bitch with this haircut. Come here. About to cop.
Who sings this? I know this guy. He's the Detroit rapper. It's a Detroit rapper who sings this. Who is that guy? That's the guy who's... What's the song? Hold on. G-Mac Cash. That's who he is. G-Mac Cash. No, it's G-Mac. He's another Detroit rapper. G-Mac Cash. What's his most popular shit? Let me see. Can I order his uploads? Can't even order them. Let me show you some of his songs. He actually made songs about striking.
We going on strike.
Hey.
We going on strike. For real. We going on strike. For real.
Bass, dude. I didn't know he was like that.
Till they get this shit right. Come on. We going on strike.
Thank you, Gold.
Infra
Appreciate you.
ASUNGORILLA. Infra ASUNGORILLA. Infra ASUNGORILLA.
On strike all night till they get this shit right. Look, we going on strike, so you better listen. We ain't about to keep working under these conditions. Working in a hot plant with no air conditioning, and they got the nerve to tell us that this fair conditions. They don't work their ass off, they gon' get fired. Temps working like slaves and don't get hired. The supervisor don't care if they get tired. They just trying to make sure them.
Let me show you his funny videos. He has a coronavirus one. Let me see. Oh fuck, bro. Let me see. No, his best one was about the Michigan roads. Potholes. This is the best one. Bro, you only understand this if you live in Michigan, okay? He did a diss track against potholes.
Damn, man. They gotta come fix this shit, man.
Well, stop playing with these niggas.
Know y'all gonna feel this one, man. Look. Man, I just hit another pothole. Bitch. Man, can the city fix the potholes? Damn. I just bought another tire cause I pothole. Man, I'm getting tired of these potholes. Man, I just hit another pothole. Bitch. Man, can the city fix the potholes? Damn. I just got another tire cause I pothole. Man, I'm getting tired of these potholes. I was driving one day on my way home. Hit a pothole so big that I broke a bone. Hit a pothole so big that I lost my phone. Pothole was so big that it scraped the chrome. I done bought 3 tires just in 1 week. It's to the point I don't wanna drive on the street. Nope. You ever seen them potholes with a chunk of meat? They take a bite out of your tires like they got some teeth. Feeling like a roller coaster riding down the street. Fuck around and drop your burger if you trying to eat. Fuck around and spill your water if you trying to.
Right, if you drive in Michigan, you understand this. And he's not exaggerating. Because listen, these potholes are aggressive. You drive over a big pothole, it literally feels like someone fucking shot a rocket-propelled grenade at you.
Drink, fuck around and bump your head just for trying to think. Ooh. Man, you might not make it to your destination.
Bro, that's the that's the best part of the whole song. Let me redo that.
Fuck around and bump your head just for trying to think. Ooh.
Yeah, bump your
Man, you might not make it to your destination at all. Roadside assistance, they gon' have you waiting. For real. Cars riding past, they don't see you waving. Gone. Man, can y'all please fix this fucking pavement? Man, I just hit another pothole. Bitch. Man, can the city fix the potholes? Damn. I just bought another tire cause I pothole. Man, I'm getting tired of these potholes. Man, I just hit another pothole. Bitch. Man, can the city fix the potholes? Damn. I just got another tire cause I pothole. Man, I'm getting tired of these potholes. Sick of this.
He wrote a diss track against Snow too. Let me see that one. He wrote one against Snow. It's just about snow.
Well, stop playing with these niggas.
Man, I'm getting tired of all this fucking snow. Man, I'm getting tired of all this fucking snow. Man, I'm getting tired of all this fucking snow. Every week we gon' get some more. Man, I'm getting tired of all this fucking snow. Man, I'm getting tired of all this fucking snow. Man, I'm getting tired of all this fucking snow. Every week we gon' get some more. Man, I'm getting tired of getting my feet wet. Open the car door and my seat wet. Come on, man. Kids out, they ain't even did a week yet. I'm about to slide down off the porch like Meek did. Manager, can you come in? Man, fuck that job. We just got 10 inches, I ain't finna drive. Man, it's colder than a bitch and I ain't finna die. If it snow again, I swear to God, man, I'm finna cry. What the fuck, man? Who playing with the weather, man? About to throw a snowball at the weather, man. I either got on 2 coats and a sweater, man. When the fuck is this shit gonna get better, man? Damn. Man, I'm getting tired of all this fucking snow. Man, I'm getting tired of all this fucking snow. Man, I'm getting tired of all this fucking snow. Every week we gon' get some more. Man, I'm getting tired of all this fucking snow.
Alright, let me see the COVID one. This is the COVID one.
Achoo!
Beats on the track.
Move, bitch, you got coronavirus. Ooh, shit, you got coronavirus. We ain't finna do shit with this coronavirus. I ain't finna take a trip with this coronavirus. Move, bitch, you got coronavirus. Ooh, shit, you got coronavirus. We ain't finna do shit with this coronavirus. I ain't finna take a trip with this coronavirus. I'ma chill at the crib cause I'm safe here. I ain't even about to drink me a Corona beer. I'm about to stay at the crib for about a year. And I ain't coming back out until this shit clear. I done bought me a mask and a lot of gloves. And I still feel like that is not enough. I ain't shaking no hands, I don't wanna hug. Make sure you wash your hands with a lot of love. So if you got that CV, they gon' find you. If you coughing, I ain't trying to be around you. I ain't even trying to stand beside or behind you. I'ma try to help them motherfuckers find you. I ain't even about to hop on no plane. I ain't even about to stand in the rain. I ain't getting on no train. I ain't even about to drive in my lane. I'm about to stay in the house and play the game. Bitch, move, bitch, you got coronavirus. Ooh, shit, you got coronavirus. We ain't finna do shit with this coronavirus. I ain't finna take a trip with this coronavirus. Move, bitch, you got coronavirus. Ooh, shit, you got coronavirus. We ain't finna do shit with this coronavirus. I ain't finna take a trip with this coronavirus.
Bro, this was, listen, you know why this is funny? It's only funny because this happened literally in March. This was released in March 15th. So this is literally when COVID first came here. Like, he made this song in like 2 days. As soon as COVID was on the news, he just made this song. This was literally March 2020. He literally made it as soon as COVID became a thing. That's when you started following Infrared. No, it's not. I didn't. Infrared wasn't on Twitch at this time. That's what I'm trying to say. This was before that. Soon as COVID came.
Free.
What? The fuck?
I do.
Hell no!
A nigga about to get robbed in these black forces. I'm about to steal from your job in these black forces. I black a nigga eye in these black forces. Don't a nigga want a pride in these black forces? I steal your AC in these black forces. I'll take your TV in these black forces. You don't wanna see me in these black forces. Everything come free in these black forces. You see a nigga with these, you better not trust me. We can run, we can fight, and we'll not scuff. Come here. If your nigga got these, you do not love him. You probably got some ashy knees and do not rub him. If he got on black ones, he'll steal your lighter. If he got on black ones, he really a fighter. Facts. If he got on black ones, he tying them tighter. If he got on black ones, he stealing your tires. If he got on black ones, you don't want to fight. If he got on black ones, he carry a knife. If he got on black ones, then run for your life. Cause if he says it's on sight, then you know it's good night.
Alright, guys. We hit the 4-hour mark. Sending you guys away. We're gonna have a longer stream tomorrow. Look, yesterday I streamed a fuck ton. You know what I mean? I streamed a fuck ton the other day. You know what I mean? I streamed like 9 hours yesterday. So tomorrow we'll have a long stream again. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I'll stream earlier. Okay? I'll stream earlier tomorrow. Okay, guys? See ya!